Welcome, ladies and gents. We're here for round 9 QAFL action at Labrador this afternoon. Cook Murphy Oval. Labrador Tigers hosting the Morningside Panthers. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined by, in a very interesting special comments role this afternoon, Chris Yendi Yend from the VFL, taking a week off and decided to join us for some QAFL footy this afternoon. Welcome, Yendi.
Thanks, mate. Great to be here. They couldn't get me a ticket to head up to Darwin for Gold Coast and Footscray, so I get the pleasure of heading down the road and seeing one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Probably, maybe excitement's not quite the word. It's the most intriguing game of the weekend because whoever wins today, it is a massive, massive victory considering the games that they've got coming up. So any momentum and confidence they can get up, it's certainly going to be a tremendous contest. No,
it should be very interesting indeed. A little bit of a swirly breeze. I saw you out there doing the Matty Lloyd impression, throwing some grass in the air in the middle of the ground earlier today, and it seems like it's coming straight across the ground from the right of screen towards our broadcast area on this broadcast side wing. But you're definitely right, Yendi. You know, Labrador, looking at Labrador a couple of times this year, calling them, they've been a little bit disappointed in their consistency. I called them against Mount Gravatt a few weeks back. Majority of look, yes, they got the win in the end, probably all because of a young man named Tom Simpson, number 3, who absolutely dominated in a best on ground performance. Absolutely destroyed the Vultures midfield. He was very good that day. Nathan Wright as well, who arguably I'd say a little bit surprised when I saw the stateside named, the senior stateside named, and he wasn't in it. So that was a pretty big surprise for the young man. He's been playing some great footy in a raft of positions. They've been using him in quite a number of spots. But you look across the ground at Morningside there, the likes of Mitch Robertson, who's been playing pretty well in that midfield. Welcome back. Welcome to QAFL footy, Mitch. First time I'm calling them this afternoon, so it should be very interesting. But you go down the list as well. Labrador's sitting in 8th at the moment on 12 points. Morningside in 3rd position on 20 points. A couple of games clear. Geez, if Morningside can get the win this afternoon, all of a sudden they're jumping that couple of games clear in that top 4. Will be a massive boost for them. And Labrador, unfortunately, they've just got to start winning some games consistently, or they're going to lose the pack above them.
Absolutely, and it's certainly, there's so much riding on this game for both sides. We'll have a look at today's umpires thanks to Bradnam's Windows and Doors. And in the field today, we've got Sam Bridges, Justin Lillicrap and Jacob Severs. In the boundary, we've got Nick Mabb and Matty Forsyth. In the goals, we've got Caleb Fidge and Darcy McGowan there. It's some quality officials there, which is great. Without the umpires, we wouldn't be able to enjoy the games that we have. And being around the VFL section a lot this year, it's clear that there is a strong pathways program for umpires at this level to progress to VFL and through the AFL. It wasn't that long ago that we saw James Strybos running around in the QAFL, and he made a name for himself in a standout year in the VFL last year, and he's progressed all the way up. So some wonderful pathways there, and we're seeing that happening around the boundaries and the goals too. But, I mean, mate, we've got to look at the capability of these sides. And I looked at Labrador's, what I perceive to be their best. I mentioned some names that aren't playing today. We got There's no Campbell Lake, who's playing VFL. Jay Foon's out. Harry Law's out with injury.
Mark of the year potential couple of weeks back against Mount Gravatt. Harry Law took an absolute pearl. No, I haven't stopped talking about absolute perler. But go on.
Charlton Offermans is out and Nick Kemp. You look at those sort of 5-6 players there. They're big. I mean, I was going to add Henderson to that list, but he's come back from that knee injury over the last week, so he's back in the team today. But there's some big names that are missing out of that team from Labrador.
No, you're definitely right. And even looking at Morningside as well, I mean, Jake Goodwin on debut, he ends up with 6 goals against a pretty consistent competitive side in the Broadbeach Cats last week. Like I said earlier, Mitch Robertson been playing pretty solidly. He actually nominated for the pre-season draft of the AFL this week, apparently. So
yeah, well, this could potentially be his last game here in the QAFL. It could pull a Liam Jones on us and pull out of the competition mid-season like he did last year for PBC.
No, you're right. And you got Ryan Dadds, who's playing his 50th senior game this afternoon. So well done to Ryan as the siren stops us from hearing properly for the next 30 seconds.
I'll mention some other names from Morningside that aren't playing, and this shows the context, the depth that both teams have got that are essentially missing. So we've got no Kelly Castle, we've got no Pendlebury, we've got no Keegan Downey, who's one of the best forwards in the competition. We've got no Hill, he had 31 touches last week, not in the team today, and we've got no Kyle Dunkley, who I think has gone down to Frankston for Brisbane in the VFL. And look, we'll just throw a casual one in there as well. Wiley Buzzer, he's only played the one game during the Brisbane Lions bye round, and he kicked the lazy 7. But on that day, he and Downey teamed up for 11 goals when I think they beat Mount Gravatt, and so they're missing a lot of that forward power. It was good that Godwin last week in his he played QFA Division 3 last year after playing his footy elsewhere, and this is his first run at senior level. He's kicked 6 goals, but he's named in the midfield, so I'm just wondering whether they're going to have to rely on him to maybe push forward. I just can't see where they're going to get their goals from. Whereas Labrador, Nathan Wright, like he's your guy, and the player that made his debut last week, Kano, let's hear all about the great man Alex Fife.
No, look, Alex Fife kicked 4 goals last week, took 5 marks as well, which again, very, very, very good for the young man. But I mean, and again, like you say, Yendi, the likes of the players out of both these sides makes it a bit more interesting. But it's going to be one in that midfield battle again. You know, the likes of Simpson, you got Simpson, you've got Matty Lee, Jaden Young can go in there, Fife can go in there, Mercer can go in there. There's a number of players that can go through that group. If you look at Morningside on the other hand, you know, the likes of Robertson, I'm trying to look down this list. A lot of the names don't stand out to me, unfortunately.
Well, especially when you take Hill out of the lineup.
Exactly.
When he's had 31 touches, and he was, aside from Godwin, he was probably the best player on the ground last week. It was Jackson Hill wearing the number 18 and just doing wonderful things and improved a lot as a footballer. You need those ball winners there, and he's not there, and that's going to hurt them. But I'd probably be looking at the 50-gamer. Ryan Dad's coming in, and probably Dylan Swan too. So Swanee had 21 touches last week, 4 clearances and 5 tackles. So probably looking for him to really be that grunt person in that midfield. But I think he suits the style that Labrador are. So he's a tough nut, just like those Labrador players that you mentioned.
No, you'd love to see the likes of Simpson and Robertson going head-to-head in that midfield battle. It would be absolutely brilliant. Mind you, I did see the lineup for Morningside, and they actually named Mitch Robinson the ruck. So, you know, we've seen him pinch hit in the past, both for the Lions and Carlton, but I can't see him spending all day in the ruck. That must have been a misprint. But he's playing some consistent footy at this level, and you like to see, again, another bloke who's come out of the AFL system, played a number of years, come down to QAFL, show his experience, show his knowledge to the younger players, and Morningside, considering how they played last year, they did struggle. And also, it just dawned on me before, is this Clint Watts' first game against his former side?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Yes, it is.
So it makes it even more interesting. Clint Watts, the coach of Labrador, came in this year, and he's coaching against his former side for the first time. So you'd think he'd had plenty of knowledge in how the guys go about it at the Panthers. But then again, Paul Egan might have a few tricks up his sleeve.
Well,
to
Eggs was under him last
slow
year.
slow the momentum. So who knows? It might be more of a battle between the coaches this afternoon rather than the players. So
Is this the master v the apprentice?
Malthouse versus Buckley.
Yeah, pretty much, isn't it?
Pretty much. So, again, plenty of things up for grabs. And like we said before, is Simpson in the middle of the ground and it's already started the push and shove. We're just about ready to go here for round 9 QAFL action. Just a quick mention as well, it's round 2 of the Doug Nichols Indigenous round this afternoon as well. So here we go. I think that one will be recalled and is...
So Darcy McEldrew in the ruck there for the Tigers. He's up against Brad Hodge there for the Panthers, and Brad is one of the best ruckmen in the competition.
No, Brad Hodge wins the tap out. Robinson gets held. Free kick paid. Gets the first possession of the game. Going to kick long, deep inside 50. All the numbers with the Tigers, though. Drop mark. Ball hits the ground. Tigers trying to clear. Ball gets intercepted by Morningside. Here comes Lee trying to clear that ball from defensive 50. Handballs over the top on this broadcast side. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Kick down the line now. Speaking of which, here's Nathan Wright. Looks like he's lining up at half forward.
He hasn't got many options further up the ground. There's a lot of one-on-one. He's kicking to a breeze.
Kicks down the ground now. One-on-one contest. Bit of push and shove. Well done for the Morningside defender on that occasion as the ball rolls towards their boundary line. Kept in play. Brilliant tackle laid by the Tigers. Ball rolls out. And for the first boundary throw-in of the afternoon, Yendi. And straight away, the pressure's really up from both these sides.
Just gives you an indication of that kick there from Mitch Robertson. He was actually looking for Ryan Dadds and or Marcus Peake. The kick just went a little bit too long. So in that situation, just got to take a little bit off the kick when you're kicking the ball to the left of your screen.
Good tackle laid. Simpson handballs it out. Chip in board. Good kick. Good mark. Number 20 for the Tigers. We have
Sammy Mercer.
Sammy Mercer. Kick inside 50. Looks like no free kick paid. Morningside backline was looking for a push in the back. No free kick paid. Solid mark taken down deep forward. Not quite sure. We've got a light pole right in front of us here, so apologies. Just trying to get the number. It looks like he's going to try and kick around the corner. Be a right foot snap round the corner. That's the first goal of the game to the Tigers. They moved to 1 goal straight 6. Morningside yet to score. We played just over 2 minutes in this opening quarter. And Yendi, well done to the Tigers on that forward 50 attack.
Absolutely. And Lockie Henderson, he's traditionally played more of a role across the half-back line previously. But this year he's played more of a deep role inside the forward line, and he was the recipient of that free kick there. And they're going to get a lot of experience. The young Tigers are, the likes of Fife and a few of those other younger ones coming through, just with Henderson around that team, and probably Wright too. So I wouldn't be surprised today if Henderson playing a little bit deep and he's actually directing traffic for the likes of Wright to get into better positions. And that's the role that he has as a coach on the field, and I think Wright's going to get a lot of benefit out of that today.
No, you're definitely right there. As the ball gets recalled again, they did try the same thing against Mount Gravatt a couple of weeks back, and Mount Gravatt got back into the game and Henderson was forced down back, so it really stopped their momentum, the Tigers. And then the likes of Simpson through that midfield. Speaking of Simpson, got another handball out, chips over the top. Even numbers here. Good handball for the Tigers. Kicks inside 50. Henderson's got it again.
They're just starting to create a little bit of space, Labrador. Morningside are pushing too far across through the corridor, and it's just opening up so much space. I think because of the way the wind's going, they're actually preempting the ball to fall a little bit shorter, which just means there's a lot more real estate behind that second wave of players, which is where Henderson found himself in too much space.
No, you're definitely right. And lining up for goal number 2 for the afternoon. This will be a great start for Henderson. Right foot kick straight to the goal line. There's another one. There's another one to the Tigers. They've kicked the first couple. They moved to 2 goals straight 12. Morningside yet to score. Played just over 4 minutes. And you're definitely right, Yendi, but what I noticed as well, they've kept that gap, but they've kept a lot of space between the 50-metre arc and the end of the centre square. So they've just got plenty of room straight across the ground. Henderson's just leading straight into that gap. There's not a player in that space at all. They're leaving it open, the other Labrador forwards. And Henderson's gone bang, bang early on, and great start to the Tigers.
And like they haven't been reactive in terms of the conditions. The wind's blowing a little bit harder to the left. Don't drop probably your best tall player deep inside that defence. They've just stuck to their structures and allowed Henderson to play a role one out in the forward line.
No, and you got Nathan Wright in the goal square all by himself, and everyone else is basically about 45 metres out. So gives plenty of space to those Labrador forwards to lead into. Henderson goes up again, couldn't take that one. Ball drops, here's Morningside's chance. Kick to that far side wing. Mark taken. Now, again, not a lot to go to, so he decides to go short.
Well, Jaden Young's causing a lot of traffic, a lot of chaos on that wing. He's playing as that loose man in defence, and that's worrying their kick going along the boundary line, which that is ultimately the reason why we've seen the ball go out of bounds on the full there, because he's darting between 0 to 5 metres along that boundary line all alone.
No, the pressure's definitely up by the Tigers early on, pardon me. Looking to switch the play now. Here's Simpson once again. Chips and ball could be intercepted. Well done to Morningside. Doesn't really have any teammates around him though. Look at the numbers for the Tigers swarming on the ball here. Ball's going to get dragged in. Could be pinned on the ball. No. Umpire decides to come in and ball it up.
Don't like how Morningside they've decided to put more numbers between the 50 and the arc. When that ball went around the 50 arc, there was 2 unopposed Tiger defenders there. It was a 3-on-1 essentially.
And that's exactly what the Tigers want early. Just some pressure-free football coming out of defence. Quick chip kick out, Mark taken. Decides to go back in board. This is Lee. Lee, spare number on that far side. Hasn't used him though, hasn't seen him. If he keeps running, he might have a chance. That was Mercer. Mercer chips the ball on that far side wing. Not quite sure where to go. Chips the ball down the line. Good kick. Here's a chance, another chance for the Tigers.
Liam Dwyer's playing loose in that defence. It's causing the hiccup here.
Yes. Oh, great mark taken. Is that Henderson again? Chips the ball in board. Easy kick in the goal square. Now, that was just lazy defending by the Panthers on that occasion. Got sucked into the footy, and no one was meeting up to anyone behind the contest. And an easy chip kick. Great vision, and Labrador line up for goal number 3.
That was the issue there with O'Dwyer just overcommitting there and then open up space behind him.
This is Matty Hoy, and Hoy has hit the post. Well, 15 metres out, slight angle, went slamming into the post on that occasion, and here's a chance for Morningside just to relieve a bit of the pressure. It'll be interesting to see how Labrador, the forwards, set up here to try and defend.
Well, they've gone inside forward 50 on 5 occasions, Labrador, for 3 set shots. That's a concerning part already.
Drop mark there. Nothing paid there. Good kick out on this broadcast side. Here's a chance now. They move the ball quickly. Good effort by Young on that occasion. Going to have to go down the line with this one. Kicks the ball up in the air. Ball holds up with that breeze, but ends up nothing contested there. Morningside, good mark. Chips the ball inside, attacking 50 into the forward pocket. Bit of a worm boner. Here's the roving. Drops what he should have taken. Ball gets handballed in the goal square. Plenty of numbers for the Tigers to defend. Good tackle laid. That's got to be gone. And is. Well done to the Tigers. Just swarming defence at the moment. Really well done early on this game, Yendi.
And Labrador are pushing more numbers around that corridor, so they don't mind Morningside going towards the forward pocket. And when they're pressing across to try and get up to the corridor, Labrador are putting 3 or 4 players running at the player.
And Nathan Wright's been pushed right up the ground to try and contest that. Looking at right now, though, he's going to end up with a footy here. Look at that, handball over the top. Speaking of which, Wright, shocking handball, though. Gets intercepted by the Panthers. Bit of a hack kick, deep forward, right on the 50-metre arc. Morningside trying to get their hands on the footy, but Labrador again, pretty good. Rolls over for another boundary throw-in.
That was Mitch Robertson there under a bit of pressure. It looks like he's hovering around that half forward. I wouldn't mind seeing him maybe drift more towards the corridor and sort of to play a little bit more defensively.
No, good point. Here come the Panthers again. Tackle laid, probably could have been pin drop on the footy. There's a push in the back, also not paid. Umpire was blindsided on that occasion. Ball gets held up.
As you know, Cano, I'm a bit of a fan of the old men in green. The first one there, when the ball's knocked out, it's a call play on. It's not deemed as a legitimate tackle.
No, that's fair enough. The umpires have been really good this season in the QAFL. Good tackle laid again. No free kick. Ball gets hacked down the ground. 2-on-1. Henderson got outnumbered on that occasion.
This is where Morningside are being a little bit more reactive again now to the situation. They're trailing, playing an extra player in defence.
No, good handball there. This is Griffiths. Griffiths goes towards inside 50. Look at the numbers for the Tigers, though. They're set up brilliantly behind the footy as they come out now. Great tackle laid, though, by the Panthers. Here's their chance. Another good tackle laid. Both these sides are tackling really hard, really early. Oh, that's got to be head high. Yes. Good free kick paid. And we've got a rodeo going on in the middle of the ground. Wrong part of the neighbourhood for that to be going on. Now here's a chance to go inside 50 for the Panthers. Chips in towards the pocket. Shocking kick inside 50. Mark taken, intercepted again by the Tigers, and they're going to come out of trouble.
I'll do a quick around the ground, so this will shock you early. Aspley 2 behind, trail Sherwood 2 straight 12. There we go. We can officially say that Sherwood lead the battle between the top and bottom by 10 points at this stage of the game. Redland Victoria Point lead Noosa by 6 points. Scores are level between Broadbeach and Wilson Grange at 6 apiece, and Mount Gravatt lead Palm Beach 19-12.
They've been a bit apprehensive, Labrador, trying to go forward, chipping the ball around. There's a free man on that far side. He's not going to use him, though. He's going to come to the broadcast side. Here's Lee. Dives in for a chest mark. Well done. Now, this is the next kick. This is the one you worry about.
I'd say switch it across the outer side instead of going down the line. Morningside have flooded a whole heap of numbers down there already.
I mean, look at the numbers there. No, great work there by the big number 26 for the Tigers. Was able to get the ball to ground. Ball rolls over. Someone needs to get over and pat that bloke on the back, the big number 26.
Yeah, McEldew in the ruck.
McEldew. He was outnumbered about 6-1, got the ball to ground. Well done, big fella. As Labrador trying to defend once again. One-on-one action here between these two sides. Morningside end up with a footy. Handball inboard. Here's a chance for a shot on goal. Ball going towards the goal line. Drifts back at the last moment on that far side. Rolls through for a point. That's the first score for the Panthers this afternoon. Tigers 2-1-13. Leading Morningside 1 behind 1 point, and we've played just over 12 minutes in the opening quarter.
What I want to see more from Labrador is in this situation here to switch it across. I've seen them a couple of times this year, and they're too one-dimensional, likely to go down the line. They don't open up the peripherals, which they end up kicking in the packs a lot more, where the other opposition have got more numbers.
No, you're definitely right there. As the ball goes towards McEldew. Here he goes again. Bit of a hack kick. Good pressure laid. Actually, that was a McEldew. We'll get back to you on that one. Not quite sure who that was. Risto. Morningside come out defence. Now, they've been such slow moving at the moment. This plays right into the Tigers' hands in this early part of the first quarter. There's down the line kicking, and look at that, gets intercepted again. This is Simpson deep inside 50, but there's no numbers for the Tigers. Numbers are with the Panthers. A 3-on-2. Chips the ball over on their far side. Easy mark taken. Decides to go down line. Drops what he should have taken. Handballs over the top. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Chips the ball inboard now. That's a better kick. Great pick up by the Panthers. Hacks the ball forward, though. And that extra number, like you were talking about, Yendi, early, intercepts once more.
Yeah, you've got to bring it out towards this commentary side. But Morningside have got one player loose at the high centre-half forward, which is forcing them to hold the ball.
Oh, a bit fumbly by the Tigers. Panthers did well. Could be a free kick. No. Decides to come in, ball that one up.
So it was Declan Willie that was all alone on the point of the centre square in the defensive side for Morningside. So that extra kick, they had to hesitate. They almost had to try and switch it back out the other side. He was unopposed and caused a negative result.
You're trying to play pretty footy. One little fumble stuffs it all up. Simpson got out to Lee. Lee goes down the line. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw in. The big number 19 there, Dwyer, did very well on that occasion, being able to punch the ball clear.
I enjoy watching Liam play. He's got a lot of great attributes, and he's got a long future at this footy club.
He's lining up on Bristow, cross half forward, might even be centre half forward. as the Tigers end up with the footy again. Chip the ball down the line. Robertson is there. Couldn't take the mark. Kicks the ball forward. Unfortunately, it ends up in the hands of Simpson. Simpson gets crunched by Robinson. No free kick. And here's a chance for the Panthers now. Shocking handball. Tigers could intercept and make them pay. No. Morningside end up back with the footy. Good kick to the big fella, number 11.
They've just got to hold the ball here, Morningside, because they were outnumbered in attack.
That's Nelson. He's taken 3 or 4 contested marks already. Here's an overlap. Could run inside 50. Decides to go back and take his kick. He's right on the 50-metre line. He'll probably be kicking 52, 53 metres out. Robertson gives a quick lead. Not used.
The target probably would have been Shaq up at the top of the goal square, but even then, Labrador have stuck one number in front of him too.
Geez, look at the numbers in that goal square for the Tigers. Ball goes towards the goal line. Oh, look at that for a mark. Came out of nowhere. Touched. And that was Shaq. Shaq came out of the blue. Took an easy chest mark. Ran around 6 Labrador opponents. As the ball drifts towards the boundary line, that's gone out.
That was almost 3 kicks for 3 goals spread over that's 4.5 quarters there for Shaq. So he's a likely type. You can see they're going to go to him. But I think if they're going to decide to go to him sooner.
No, he looks like he's got a bit of pace, that initial couple of metres. And literally ran around 6 blokes and took an easy chest mark. So well done to Shaq on that occasion. Couldn't finish it off, though. Here's a hack ball to the goal square. Speaking of which, ball hits the deck. That's Nelson. That's Shaq, I believe. Shaq's kicked the first goal for the Morningside Panthers. They move to 1-2-8. Labrador 2-1-13. We've played just over 16 minutes in this opening quarter. And round 9 QAFL action. And Yendi, it started to even up a little bit in that contest, which is really good.
It has. After that sluggish start, Morningside, through their coaching team, they decided to put a few extra numbers back and be a little bit more reactive. They're still a little bit hesitant coming out of defence. But in this day and age, with this sort of game, you've got to move the ball really quickly. And that's what they did, because Labrador, they've got a really good fitness running through their defence. So they're going to flood 3 or 4 numbers back, which they've done so well. In this case here, you've just got to play slingshot footy, get it in really quickly. And sometimes you've got to make it ugly footy to create opportunities. And that's what happened with Shaq there. The ball's going to go to him, but he's also going to drag 2 opponents to him. So there's going to be someone else sort of floating around.
And Nelson was really good being able to bring the ball to ground and feed that handball out. Lee, out of that centre clearance, tried to hack the ball out of the air. Robertson ended up with it, but then Lee lays a tackle, gets his hands back on the ball, and that's a free kick to Morningside. About 40 out from the Labrador goal. That might be Dwyer again. Good hack kick. Ball can't be taken though. Here's number 32 for the Panthers in Peak. Peak kicks the ball towards Nelson. That's a free kick to Nelson.
Sherwood still holding on against Aspley. They lead that one 12-4.
Look at Robertson screaming at Nelson to give him the footy, but nothing was given on that occasion. Good kick towards 50. Just a little bit of a hack kick to no one. Simpson is there for the Tigers. Lays a good tackle. Could be held up, and is.
Not to be critical of Robbo there, but he turned his back on his teammate straight away. I think in that instance is you've got the opportunity to just push up to where the kick's going to be and create a presence like he has now at the stoppage.
No, you're definitely right. He's definitely hovering. He starts in the midfield and then hovers towards that half-forward line. 2-on-1 here. Oh, big leap by Shaq. Couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance for the Panthers. Right foot snap and goal.
Yeah, the big man, when they get the opportunities there, Bradley Hodge. Just a wonderful piece of roving there, and that's indicative of him as a footballer as well. He's been in some good form. 13 disposals last week, 26 hit-outs, but his ability to do some work at ground level. He's not a noted goal kicker, but when the opportunities come his way, you sense that getting the ball forward, again, ugly footy inside that forward line, but creating opportunities. You've got Hodge, you've got Shaq. They're going to try and bring the ball to ground and do something flashy. You could already see with Shaq why they love having him at this footy club. He's just got that little bit of something. He could take Mark of the Year today. That's what he's seeing. And being an Indigenous player and what this round means to him, it's a big moment, and no doubt he'd be feeling very pumped about it.
No, he's definitely had a good start to this game. Morningside ruckman on that occasion pleading the umpire for a free kick. Robertson kick goes offline. Here's a chance for the Tigers. It's a 2-on-2. This should be an interesting contest. Well done to the Tigers on that occasion. Kicks the ball down the line. Not the best kick in the world. Hacks the ball deep inside 50, right to the 50-metre mark. Good mark taken. That's Henderson again. Now,
might be a little bit on his distance here with that breeze that's cutting straight at him.
so he decides to go to that hot spot. 10 metres out directly in front. Right goes up, couldn't take the mark. Ball hits the deck. Great tackle laid. Pushed over the line though, so that's a point. Well done to the right on that occasion. Didn't allow the Morningside defence to get an easy kick out as they try to come out of defence once more. But we're all tied up here, 2-2-14 apiece. Earlier, probably in the back stages of this first quarter. Not the best kick in the world from full back. It was a massive kick with that breeze. Labrador have the numbers though. Decide to go backwards. They're looking to switch. Chips the ball now. Mark taken. Should have taken that one. Good enough. Kicks the ball short. Mark taken. Goes to that far side. Here's a chance for the Tigers just to take a breath. They decide to slow it up. Decide to come back in board. Lee was there. Also had a teammate who ended up taking the mark.
Just looking at Matt Hoy running through the corridor now. He's looking to try and present as an option.
Now,
this next kick now.
This is Anderson. Anderson had a great game a few weeks back against Mount Gravatt. Was really productive. He's a very agile, very quick, got a lot of ability, and he definitely looks like the real A-grade athlete that the Tigers have been sort of lacking for a while. Handball in forward. No one was really sure where the ball was coming from. Decides to take a mark though.
Got to come out wide here to the commentary side. They've got fewer players here.
Decides not to. That's a shocking kick. Oh, mark dropped. Here's a chance for the Panthers to make him pay, and does. Number 32 for the Panthers. We've got Adam Peake. Popped out nowhere. Should have been an easy mark to the Labrador defence. Dropped the mark straight into Peake's hands, and Peake definitely made them pay.
A little bit of hesitation there from Jaden Young. Peake was running straight at him and impeded his view, and could sense the contact was going to come, and that's why the ball bobbled out. And probably fortunate as well. Again, just that hack kick forward. It wasn't the best option going inside that forward 50. Let's be honest. But with that chaos ball, that drop, they had a one-on-one. They had Shaq and his direct opponent there all aligned behind that play. Fantastic finish. And they're running all over the top of them now. They've got 3 goals from general play. Labrador, they started strong early. They had 3 shots on goal in the space of 5 minutes from set shots. So it seems to be that's the way Morningside are going to operate.
Here's Robinson again. Another clearance. Hacks the ball deep forward. Great contest there by all players involved, but Labrador's good enough to try and clear. Here's a chance now. A little bit of a nothing kick, but it's good enough to get to his teammate. Handball's in board. Here's some overlap going. Coming to this far side. That's big number 30. That's Bailey Brown. Brown now coming through on this broadcast side wing. Heads towards Nathan Wright. Tried to use his body. Ball ends up in his lap. Comes around on the right foot. Chips in board. Not the best kick in the world. Mark isn't taken though, so the pressure is still on the Panthers. Ball gets intercepted. McElderry was there. Handball's in board. That's a shocking kick in board though. And the Panthers again coming out of defence.
They're getting a little bit panicky here, Labrador, going forward, because now that the Morningside are pushing some numbers back, there's a lot more pressure to score on them really quickly, especially into the breeze.
And look at them trying to come through the corridor now. Robinson, handball's in board. Handball's over the top. Here's an overlap. There's a free man inside 50 if he can get him there. Number 12, great mark taken. Shaq's running into the goal square. He's not going to use him though. The big number 12 in that's O'Toole. Took an easy mark and just got a little bit of open space with his direct opponent, running inside 50. It took a good grab, and he's lining up for his first goal of the afternoon.
That's where Morningside, they're generally kicking the ball long. Is always it's been chaos for them, and usually they've got their goals out of nothing.
O'Toole now, right foot kick, just drifting though, goes to this broadcast side, and that's a minor score. They moved to 3-3-21, leading the Tigers 2-2-14. Played just over 24 minutes in this opening quarter.
That's the highest lead of the game too. Originally it was 20 points in favour of Labrador. Sorry, they were 13 points up. It's a 20-point swing.
Here are the Tigers now, trying coming out of defence. Handball's in board, kick down the line. Got a bit of a semi-overlap. Nathan Wright's free if he can get the ball to him. Dropped a little bit short. Great pick up by Wright. Handball's in board. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Got you, good vision. There's another goal. That's better from the Tigers. Just got that overlap going. Nathan Wright was brilliant across half forward. Picked it up in one go. Came back in board. Beautiful handball. Ran into an open goal. Decided to use his teammate who was in the goal square. Kick an easy one. And all of a sudden, Labrador trailing by one solitary point. 3-2-20. Morningside 3-3-21. Gain towards time on in the opening quarter.
Yeah, the Henderson again for goal number 3. He's just presenting so well and moving into the right space. The kick inside that around that area, he made it work. It was held up in the breeze and he was able to manoeuvre his opponent and get boundary side to be able to take that mark. And that's what experienced players can do to you.
And Matty Hoy was playing that beautiful small forward role, got that handball off right, and just used the perfect vision, lined it up, hit Henderson on the chest, and a great finish by Henderson. He's kicked 3 goals in the opening quarter. Here's Hoy again, handballs it off. Simpson, hack kick, inside 50. All the numbers with the Panthers though. That's a good intercept by the number 36 in McQueen, and he'll be coming out of defence.
Sherwood's just given up the lead. They trail Aspley 1-7-13 to 2 straight 12.
Keep an eye on that game this afternoon. That would be the upset of the year and probably the decade, to be honest, if Sherwood could get up over the ladder leading Aspley Hornets.
Well, they've brought 3 kids in, two 18-year-olds and an under-16 this week to play senior footy. That's how short their stocks are.
Well, jeez.
An 18-year-old playing on
Hamilman.
Connor Stackelberg, I should say.
Jeez. Connor Stackelberg could have a field day this afternoon. He could end up with 10. But good chance for Sherwood. Oh, play on. Is that a free kick? No, yes, it is, but it's going to the Panthers for holding the ball.
Just to confirm, Connor Stackelberg has kicked that goal. That only goal there for Aspley. So the poor kid, welcome to senior football, son.
Oh, jeez. Great debut of fire there for the young man for Sherwood as Labrador come out defence again. Play on call though. The Panthers try and lock the ball up. Here comes the forward pressure from the Panthers, but Labrador good enough. Hack the ball down the line on that broadcast side. Look at the numbers for the Panthers. No real talk though. Handballs are back. Chance to go into attack. Hoy was good enough to intercept there, though, for the Tigers.
You take the ball well in this game.
Here's a bit of an overlap going. Hand kick on this broadcast side. Decides to come in board. Look at the overlap now. Got to give it to Wright. Decides to handball it off. Great tackle laid. Kick inside 50. Doesn't quite get to his teammate. Right foot, little chip kick. Rolled along the ground. Bit fumbly there by the Tigers. Sort of blew that perfect chance to kick a goal, and geez, the Morningside defence were desperate to try and get the ball over the boundary line, so really well done by the Panthers on that occasion, and Labrador let one get away on that one.
They just use the numbers, and when the ball hits the ground, they're just a bit more reactive.
No, ruined a perfectly good chance to kick that goal. Should have gone to right, but they didn't use him. Simpson goes in board. Oh, there's Shaq. Got sort of clipped as he took the mark. No 50. That's actually
Simpson.
That's Simpson. Sorry.
Shaq attack down the other end.
I'm getting the number 3s mixed up. Apologies
they're
for...
both great players.
Oh, look at Nathan Wright taking a diving mark right on quarter time siren. Morningside in front by a solitary point at this stage. Nathan Wright could get the lead back for the Tigers right on quarter time here. And a Mark Wall lookalike slips catch there by Nathan Wright. Brilliant diving to his left. Took a great mark, and he's probably 40 out directly in front. Kicking into that breeze. Probably should start left, bring it back right. Comes in now, right foot kick. Starts it right, brings it back, but not enough for a minor score. So, scores all level, quarter time, QAFL action, round 9 here at Cook Murphy Oval this afternoon. Labrador 3-3-21, Morningside 3-3-21. Quarter time break here. We'll be back for second quarter QAFL action in a few moments. No, just like I picked up on. Yeah, but not all. Yeah, exactly. Almost called Simpson. Welcome back here, ladies and gents, to round 9 QAFL action. We've got the Labrador Tigers hosting the Morningside Panthers. And quarter time, you look at the score, it's all level up. Labrador started pretty solidly. Henderson's kicked 3 goals in the opening stanza, playing at that centre half forward. But the back end of that quarter, Morningside were able to get back in it. They kicked 3 majors to even up the scores. Nathan Wright had a chance to take the lead right on quarter time, was unable to kick the goal on that occasion. My name's Kane Brown. I'm joined by Chris Yend. Welcome back for second quarter action here, Yendi. And what'd you pick up on in the first quarter?
Oh, there was just end-to-end football. Labrador come out stronger, made most of the space inside that forward 50, had some early shots on goal that come to fruition. I'll just quickly go around the grounds because there's a lot of interesting games going on. Aspley 1-9-15 lead Sherwood 2 straight 12. Redland Victoria Point 4-5-29 lead Noosa 1-2-8. Scores level here. Wilston Grange come back over Broadbeach. They lead that 120-12. Surfers Paradise 28 lead Maroochydore 12. And Palm Beach Currumbin v Mount Gravatt. It's 4-3-27 apiece.
Oh, geez, very close scores around the grounds for QAFL this afternoon. As the ball gets balled up, play on, says the umpire. Robinson gets slammed into the ground. Come up a little bit gingerly. Did see his head sort of bounce off the deck, unfortunately. Not quite sure he laid the tackle. He's on his feet now, Robinson, so that's good to see. Umpire throwing the ball back up here. As Morningside looking to make that clearance, chips the ball down, no mark paid. Chips the ball down the line. Good mark taken. Here's a chance now. O'Toole handed it off. Chip ball right on just outside 50 to Nelson. Nelson decides the handball, gets intercepted by the Tigers, and they're going to be clearing the ball now.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for an option out there in Hoy, who's played a lot of up-tempo footy, so he's providing a good option. Pushing further up the ground, starting at half forward.
No, Hoy's had a very good first quarter. That small forward, he's racking up the Ks this afternoon.
Looking for Fife as an option deep inside the forward 50. The ball's going to go in his general vicinity.
Oh, look at Wright. Couldn't take the mark. Ball hits the deck. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Is that deliberate? Umpire says no. And there'll be a boundary throw in the forward pocket for the Tigers in the second quarter.
I think this is where Labrador are going to use the conditions a lot better. They're going to do what they did in the first term and really keep the inside 50 very open and maybe use Fife and Henderson as one out.
No, you're definitely right there, Yendi.
And Wright too.
Nathan Wright, speaking of which, lays a good solid tackle, locks the ball up. And again, they're quite tall, the Labrador forwards. So it'll be very interesting when the ball does hit the deck. Have they got someone who can get front and centre? Simpson tries to lay the tackle, not quick enough on that occasion. Here's Mitch Robinson, chips the ball out wide. Here's a chance for the Panthers just to take a breath and to clear the ball out of defence.
And you speak about who's going to kick the goals for Morningside. That's where Labrador have got more options. And Coach Clint Watts is actually creating a forward line pattern that's easy for their midfielders to kick the ball long to.
Oh, dangerous kick. Nathan Wright could intercept. No, good mark taken there.
They need to come down the line here. They've got Tommy Griffiths all on his own.
That was Howson taking that solid mark. Chips the ball now. This is Willie. Is he going to go down the line? Chips the ball forward. Nathan Wright, great intercept, great effort for the young man. Captain Lee gets around him. Well done, son.
This is where Labrador was really good. Morningside, the game's been played on Labrador's terms. Morningside needed to move quicker, and they needed to move the possession on to Griffiths a lot quicker than that. Instead, Labrador were able to get an extra number around the contest.
No, Lee gets the hack ball out. Could have kept the ball in play. Boundary umpire blows the whistle for another boundary throw in. They seem to be getting even numbers around the contest, but look at that. What did I say earlier? We got Mitch Robinson on Tommy Simpson.
The dream matchup, isn't it?
Having a nice little chat. The tattoo twins, I'd like to call them, lying up against each other in that midfield battle. Here come the Tigers now. Speaking of Simpson, here he is now. Handballs to himself. Handballs over the top. They've got an extra number on that far side. They decide to use him now. Here he comes now, belting inside 50. One-on-one Henderson. Oh, great effort there by the Morningside defence.
Willie.
That was Willie coming in front of Henderson. Great effort there by the young man. Punches the ball clear over the boundary line.
And Willie needed to get in there for that defensive spoil, because if Labrador had got possession, they had Luke Coombs running all alone 30 metres out from goal down the corridor, so a kick around the body would have found him, he would have kicked a goal.
Oh, here's chance for Lee. Hoy's hovering around as well, trying to get his hands on the footy. Morningside try and lock it up. Almost throws the ball out of that contest. Here the Tigers now, probably 60 metres out. Step, weave, dodge, chips the ball in. Great kick. That's Cooper Anderson, number 33. Had a great afternoon a couple of weeks back against Mount Cravat. Well done on that occasion. Was just in the perfect spot, but it was a great kick inside 50. Lowered the eyes, hit him lace out, and he's probably kicking, I'd say, probably 35 out on a slight angle.
So he presents well off him. It's not just in that 40 to 55 mark, but he presents well up the corridor when the ball's coming through the midfield as well, and he turns around really quickly. He's got very good pivot ability.
As Simpson comes off the ground, kick on goal. That looks to be good. It is. Labrador hit the lead again, 4-3-27, leading by solitary 6 points, 3-3-21 Morningside. We've played right on 5 minutes into the second quarter, and they're almost starting the second quarter like they did the first quarter. Yendi, they're getting first use of the footy inside 50 and having some set shots on goal.
Absolutely. I want to make a note of, they've kicked 4 goals now, Labrador, but 3 of them have come from set shots. But Cooper Anderson last week, and this gives you an idea of the sort of player that he is. He had 21 disposals, but 17 of them come from kicks. So he leads in the space like he did there, and he does that through the corridor. He's a very corridor-orientated player. So he's not going to create opportunities for you, but the fact that he can kick the ball 50, 60 metres, particularly a little bit further in these conditions too, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to present well around sort of 65 to 70 metres out.
He got McElroy back in the ruck for the Tigers. Couldn't get the clearance on that occasion. Here come the clearance now. Lee's there, Hoy's there. But guess who? Mitch Robinson gets that centre clearance for the Panthers. Great pick up there by his teammate. Chips the ball down. Good punch away by the Tigers. Ends up with the ball back. Rolls towards their boundary line. Here comes the pressure. Great effort by both players. No, decides to throw the ball in. Not deliberate on that occasion. Great effort by both players.
And Labrador have already done well forcing the Panthers player more towards the boundary side and trying to create pressure with them trying to move up the corridor. It's very, very challenging.
No, McElroy got the tap out on that occasion to Lee. But, oh, bang, there's a little bit of a shirt front. He hasn't moved, the Tigers player. Keep an eye on that, Yendi. As ball gets blocked up. Umpire's going to come in and ball that one up. He's pulled up very sore, the Labrador player, on that occasion. It wasn't really nothing untoward. It was just 2 players coming together as the umpire decides to blow time on to keep an eye on this injury.
That is Anderson.
That is Anderson.
And just typical of the way that he attacks the football as well. Very natural.
Again, both players going for the footy. There was nothing untoward.
Just a footy incident.
They came together like 2 rams colliding, and unfortunately the Labrador player in Anderson didn't get pulled up second best on that occasion as they kicked the ball towards Shaq, the Panthers. No mark taken, snap on goal. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw-in. Plenty of stoppages in these first couple of quarters.
This is what I like from Labrador, because they've put a lot of pressure on Morningside. That was Ryan Dadds that had the shot on goal in game 50. Just that premeditated pressure, preconceived pressure. He had a bit more time, but Labrador have just put so much pressure on inside 50.
No, you're definitely right there on that occasion, Yendi, as Panthers, good mark. No, mark dropped. Should have done better, the Panthers, on that occasion. Hacks the ball forward. Numbers are with the Tigers. Could be called holding the man. No, says the umpire. Ball gets chipped out towards Jaden Young. He's taken a good solid mark. And 50, says the umpire.
Probably a better result for Labrador there, but Declan Willey was playing on his own in the middle of the ground there with the capacity to move out wide or remain in the corridor, so it was going to impact the next kick.
Oh, shocking kick. Pressure was put on by the Panthers. Here's Robinson, half forward. Ball just over his fingertips. Gets back first. Handballs forward. Here's a chance for the Panthers. Right foot snap towards goal. Is it going to roll? No. Great effort on the last line of defence. Number 32 for the Tigers in Jed Riddle. Able to punch the ball over the line for a rush behind. And Labrador still leading 4-3-27 to 3-4-22. We've played just over 9 minutes in the second quarter. As Morningside again looking to attack. Again, another hack kick, but all on his own. About 40 out directly in front. Ryan Dad's the 50 gamer.
This is what we spoke about in the first term too. Is Morningside, when they get their kicks inside the forward 50, it doesn't have to be pretty footy. They just have to get it in. And it has to be repeat, quick, inside 50s. If they hold on to it, hold on to the possession of the ball, Labrador have been flooding numbers back. And so it's been very challenging for them to find a clear path to goal. But on the other end, it's been different because Labrador have been able to find space.
No, here's Dad's now. Right foot kick. The 50 gamer. I think that one's good. And is. Well done to the 50-game milestone man, Ryan Dad's. And Morningside get the lead back. 4-4-28. Just in front of Labrador. 4-3-27. This is starting to turn into a little bit of an epic contest between these two this afternoon.
Well, it's the fourth lead change between the two sides, which is significant considering the Labrador got out to a 13-point lead 7 minutes into the first term. And once Morningside were able to get momentum, hit the front, it has literally been very much goal for goal, even point for point since.
No, and that's the thing too. You've definitely got Henderson playing more up the ground, and whether it's Nathan Wright deep down in forward line, but I've also just spotted got Luke Coombs has moved to the goal square, so I think Nathan Wright's off the ground taking a well-earned break. He started pretty well, Nathan Wright, with not a lot of opportunities, but he's been solid when the ball gets to him. Simpson lays a beautiful tackle. Ball gets locked in again for another ball up.
Quick around the grounds too. Maroochydore on fire over at Surfers Paradise. They've kicked the last 5 goals to take a 15-point lead after trailing by 16 points midway through the first quarter. It was one stage 28-12. Now it's 43-28 in favour of the Kangaroos.
Jeez. Well done to the Kangas. They've done pretty well so far this year, but free kick paid to the Tigers. Here's a chance now. That's Simpson again, racking plenty of the ball in this first half. Starting like he finished against Malcravat. Best on ground that day as the ball gets kicked into that forward pocket. 2-on-1. Stretching out, trying to get his hands on the footy, the Tigers. Here come Morningside to intercept, but guess who? I believe that's Simpson again out there.
Just look for Henderson. There's no space in front of him within 20 metres. So if the ball gets put up around that corridor, look out.
But Dwyer's actually the spare man defence, so he's just hovering around that 30 metres out.
Yep.
And whether he's sort of standing in between Henderson and that next key forward for Labrador, so he's just in that gap in between. So whichever way that ball goes, he can go left, he can go right and try and intercept.
With the breeze, you're going to get a little bit more hang time, so it'll enable the defender to actually get in there and create that 2-1.
Here's a kick deep to the goal square, 1-on-1. Great effort by both players. Brings the ball to ground. Good tackle there. That's Coombs. And again, when the ball hits the ground, you want those Labrador forwards. They do have a lot of height down there, but those smaller forwards got to lock the ball in, give them plenty of chances to kick goals.
I want to praise the work rate of Luke Coombs as well. He's done a lot of running between 0 and 80 metres, often for little reward in terms of getting possessions, but he's created and presented well, and that is also teaming up with Matt Hoy doing the same sort of thing.
Matty Hoy is doing extremely well. Gets pushed off the ball on that occasion. No free kick paid. Here's a chance for Morningside to come back out of defence. Ball towards the boundary line. Great mark there. Labrador bench screaming, trying to say that was out of bounds, but that was a great mark taken there.
Fraser Lay, he was the emergency that's come in, number 24. As Labrador try and push back inside the forward 50. Chaos there around half forward. Good work there from Hoy. Put some pressure on again. Just getting that little toe poke out here is an opportunity for Labrador. Kick up towards the top of the square. It's going long. And it comes off hands minus score there as Kano adjusts his notes and he's back in the game. Scores a level at 28 apiece.
Geez, I had Fraser Lay for number 53 as well, so he's had a jumper change as well, back to 24. But a great mark there on the boundary line. He could end up with a footy here. No, decides to go Matty Wright. That's got to be a free kick. Went way too early. Mark was taken regardless by the Morningside player on that occasion. Ball gets kicked down the lines. Speaking of Lay, here he is now. Dangerous kick into that corridor. One-on-one. Good mark taken, though. That's number 57, Kate Scott. Scott kicks towards 50. Ball gets intercepted. Nelson can take the mark on that occasion. That was Jaden Young. Young now chips the ball in forward. Here's Nathan Wright. Couldn't quite get his hands on the footy. Here's a chance to get the momentum back for the Panthers. Kicks long, right to the goal square. Look at Shaq. Shaq's got this and kicks another one. Now, geez, talk about kicking scores from turnover, making them pay. They've probably done that on a couple of occasions, the Panthers. And Labrador, it's that one false possession, one dropped handball, one drop mark. All of a sudden, Morningside had a massive overlap, and Shaq was perfectly poised in the goal square to take that mark. Quickly played on, kicked the goal. And all of a sudden, they've moved to a pretty interesting lead, 5-4-34, leading Labrador 4-4-28.
And they've kicked 5 goals Morningside, but they've all been from the same pattern. Kick the ball long, kick the ball in an unpretty fashion, but just rush it in there. That's where they've got their 5 goals from. It's a method that is working. And it's happened with the turnovers. We cannot deny that the creating opportunity with turnovers has been very beneficial for them. But just hacking the ball forward, yes, it's difficult for their forwards to get in direct run at it, but it seems to be working for them. So stick to it.
No, Nathan Wright's been pushed into the ruck now, so that's an interesting development. Now, what I've noticed with Nathan Wright as well, what's used him so many times in different positions, but he hasn't really seemed comfortable in one position all year. So he's gone back, he's gone forward, he's gone ruck, he's gone all over the place. And there's a 50-metre penalty for the Panthers, I believe, speaking of Nathan Wright. He wasn't too happy with that free kick.
He's coming off too.
And he's coming off the ground. He might have copped a little bit of an injury in that ruck contest.
It allows Flynn O'Toole to push forward now, and he's going to be the beneficiary of the free kick. This is going to be a rare opportunity for them where they've gone forward with some structure with a direct set shot at goal.
And Flynn O'Toole's probably got some decent height difference to Nathan Wright. As agile as Nathan Wright is, unfortunately O'Toole couldn't make him pay on that occasion. Ball goes to that far side for a minor score. And we've got the Tigers still trailing the Panthers. 5-5-35, Morningside 4-4-28 to Labrador. We've played just on 17 minutes into the second quarter. As Mark almost taken by the Panthers, intercepting. Henderson was there trying to mark, couldn't on that occasion. Oh, bang. Henderson goes bang. No free kick paid. Look at the numbers for the Panthers here. Someone's got to switch to that far side. This is O'Toole again. Not the best kick. A little bit of fumble. Still at the time. That's okay. Here come the Panthers on attack again. Shows a bit of candy. Kick inside 50. Great. No mark, but great handwork there by the Tigers' defence. And they come out of trouble once more.
There's Mercer trying to create an opportunity further up the field. Again, he's got Hoy out on this commentary side looking for that kick beyond him. But instead, they're going the other side. So you've got to commend them to be able to switch the ball 180 degrees. They go on the other side. They've got an option there on the outer side through Bristow.
Geez, Benny Hughes was going from side to side trying to free up some space. Henderson is pushing forward now. Handball in board again, another fumble. Still got time. I believe that's Cooper Anderson. Kick on goal. There's a beautiful one. What a goal by Anderson. He's come back well from that knock earlier on in this quarter. What a snapshot on goal by Anderson. Straight over the goal umpire's head, didn't have to move.
And this is something that it's really exciting to see the Tigers do. When I saw them against Broadbeach a few weeks ago, they just kept kicking the ball to the same side of the ground. In theory, where we were positioned, we could see the puzzle pieces coming together by coming out towards the commentary side. They could have done that. That would have been the safest thing to do. But they decided to go out on the far side. They were able to find Bristow all alone there. That was able to create opportunity. So this is what I want to see a bit more from the Tigers, is their centre-half back to switch left and right and not be hesitant on just being very one-dimensional and just going along the boundary line during the one side. They've gone out there. If the ball had a full short gone to the top of the square, they had Henderson, they had Hughes, they had the goal-scoring options that have just been so good for them. But you also got Cooper Anderson, who does a lot of kicking the footy, Kano.
No, you're definitely right. He's a beautiful kick for goal. But again, he's that A-type athlete that once he gets a couple of metres space, he's like a gazelle. He just strides out, gets some more space, and had a beautiful snap on goal as the Panthers try to come out of that centre bounce once more. Labrador intercept, though, across half back. Hacks the ball forward, ball rolling towards the line, rolls out of bounds.
Well, we talk about forward options and the lack of Morningside have had this year. Well, this particular game without Keegan Downey, they have now chucked Mitch Robertson at centre-half forward, and he's now going to be that option. So you essentially need a couple of them, but he's now that guy.
Geez, and again, I don't see that as a massively good idea, taking him out. Speaking of good ideas, that was Shaq who took a good mark. Straight to the man of the moment in Robinson. Ball hits the deck again. Good defence by Labrador. Handballs over the top. Great vision. Look at that for a tackle. Play on, says the umpire.
That's Lukey Coombs again.
That's Lukey Coombs again. He's gone from one end of the ground to the other. Last line defence lays a brilliant tackle as the mark gets taken on that far side.
And I praised his work rate before from that 0 to 80 and how he's pushing further up the ground. Well, the furthest he's been at the other end of the ground, he's been standing in the goal square only a couple of minutes ago in Labrador's forward line, and he was doing beautiful, did a massive tackle there 10 metres out from his defensive line. That just shows the work rate of this kid. It's exceptional to watch.
Goal-saving tackle, last line defence. You know, any rugby league player would be applauding that effort by Coombs as the Tigers wanting to come out of defence. Speaking of which, this is Hoy.
Him and Coombs, wonderful, working in tandem beautifully.
No, Hoy, nothing handball. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw in.
So Joel Edwards, who was named in the forward line, he's now playing in defence. He's actually giving about 20 metres on Mitch Robertson, allowing Robbo to push further up the ground. Essentially what will happen is another Labrador defender will come across to try and block that defence, or that kick in there from Robertson, and Edwards will essentially push deep in defence and be that extra player.
And that's a massive matchup again. Mitch Robertson on Jaden Young. They'll be brilliant to watch next few minutes. As the ball going towards Labrador's goal, handball out. Morningside have got some extra numbers though. Decide to just hack the ball out with handball. Hoy couldn't get a kick on his foot. Great intercept. Look at that for a goal. Is that Coombs again? Coombs came out of nowhere, intercepted the ball. The only guy moving, everyone else was standing still. Everyone else looked in slow motion. Coombs came through. Beautiful kick on goal. And I tell you, he's having one of the first halves of his career at the moment.
Well, that doesn't highlight what we've been talking about this entire quarter with work rate. But earlier, he was sitting in the goal square, and now he's doing a game-saving or goal-saving tackle at one end, and he's essentially in the same spot of the ground, the other end of the ground, like 10 metres out from goal. He's kicking goals, and he's sprinted 140 metres over the last sort of minute or so with his work rate just to get there. And he's a young kid that's just showing that pizzazz, that strength, that speed. And we've now got our fifth lead change of the game. And,
you know, it just sets the prime example anyway for any young player watching the workload that Coombs is, using this afternoon. He definitely has a tank he's running. I'd love to see his heat map. Unfortunately, we don't have access to that sort of information. But he'd be all over the shop this afternoon. The Tigers get the clearance, kick inside 50, no mark taken. All the pressure now on the Panthers. That could be a free kick. It's going to the Panthers though. So just releasing the pressure valve slightly. That was Nathan Wright on that occasion. He seems to be playing a little bit angry at the moment, Nathan Wright. He's got to be careful.
Well, he needs to. I think what's missing for him is structure, because you've said he's playing defence, he's playing ruck, he's playing forward. Give him a purpose, give him a role, and have him stick to it. He's an outstanding player. When he gets hot, he can dominate.
Oh, good intercept mark by Nelson. Coming up the ground from centre half forward. Crashed the pack, took a great contested mark. No support with him though, just hacks the handball to no one. Look at Hoy working his little backside off. Ball gets locked in. Great effort, young man. Well done. It was a 3-on-1 and Hoy won the day. Was able to lock the ball in for his forward line to set up again. This is Lee for the Tigers. Going to get the clearance from the boundary throw in. Decides to handball back. They're going backwards here, the Tigers. Not the best kick. Nelson is there putting the pressure on Young. Great tackle by Shaq. Is that on the ball? No. Ball gets kicked it deep inside 50. Labrador intercept through Bailey Brown.
And he's able to find some space out there, so they're able to, on the overlap, if they keep pushing down the corridor, although yet Kano, another turnover.
Oh, here's trouble here now for the Tigers. A nothing kick, but it's going to be good enough. No, great effort there by the Tigers defence. Was able to get hand on ball. Here's Anderson once more, a little bit of poise. Great kick on that broadcast, that far side wing.
That's Fife.
That's Fife.
The second gamer.
Second gamer. I was almost going to say first gamer, but that was last week. Hoy gets tackled without the footy. No free kick paid.
Blow your whistle!
As the crowd definitely lets the umpires know. This is Lee going deep inside 50 towards right. Right, look at that for a step. Right foot kick just across the face of goal. Rolled through for a minor score. He's sort of at that 97%. He just needs that one little bit of luck to go his way to get the ball rolling, and he could be all over this game this afternoon.
But I think his frustration would probably come to surface again because the kick to him was disappointing. Lower the eyes, hit the target. Yeah, exactly. It is below his knees. So if the ball was kicked at his chest, different story.
No, he's such a good one-touch player. He's not fumbling, but just puts that added pressure that he doesn't really need, especially running into an open goal. As ball almost gets locked up again. Good on that occasion, the Tigers, though, towards Hoy. Hoy, not quite good enough to take the mark on that occasion. The Morningside defence was able to get back. That was number 21 in Ben McCarthy. Great effort there. 2-on-1, was able to get the ball over the boundary line.
Got big raps on Ben McCarthy as well, building as a good, solid young defender alongside O'Dwyer. They've got the makings of a really good half-back, centre-half-back line there.
Lee screaming at his teammates just to hold your position. Don't get sucked into the contest, as they have definitely pushed quite all of it. And all of a sudden now you've got Henderson playing the centre-half-back. Has to go back in defence as that spare man. Tigers now, just taking my breath, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. Morningside intercept. Great tackle laid. That's got to be holding the ball. And is.
It's only a 6-point game, but the way Labrador are playing at the moment, it feels so much greater than that.
As the Tigers go into it, and again, it's that kick inside 50. They're not hitting targets inside 50 at all, basically since the first 10 minutes of the first quarter, where Henderson got hit lights out 2 or 3 times, kicked 3 goals. They really haven't hit a target inside 50.
And that's the frustration that Wright's been experiencing over the course of this game when he has been that target.
And Wright's been pushed up the ground, throws his hands out. Simpson, who's actually gone out of the game a little bit since that first quarter start, needs to get his hands on the footy, just a slow bit of momentum that Morningside would staying to build. Here's a chance for the Tigers through Anderson. Anderson couldn't get possession on that occasion.
I think with Simpson, though, too, is that he hasn't need to play that sort of key role because they've worked the ball so they've got most of their drive across half back and across half forward. So their main midfield contingency, aside from Anderson, have been kept relatively quiet. Speaking of,
well, speak of his name, and he turns up. Couldn't kick the goal on that occasion. That was a pretty decent launch from outside 50. Couldn't quite get it straight off. Didn't come back. Another minor score to the Tigers. They moved to 6-6-42. Leading Morningside by 7 points, 5-5-35, as Morningside come out defence one more through Hodge. But unfortunately, shocking kick to centre half forward, gets intercepted by Young. Young kicks the ball out wide. They've got a little bit of an overlap, decide not to use him, come back this broadcast side to Lee. Lee's got the extra number further on this broadcast side wing. Again, decides not to use him, goes to that far side. Slow ball movement by the Tigers at the moment. Trying to keep possession. Kicks to that far side. That's Chechen out there. And again, back to Lee, who's gone all the way back to right on defensive 50.
They're just milking the clock now. We're moments away from half-time. We've only seen 5 goals kicked for the quarter. Labrador have kicked 3, Morningside have kicked 2. The first quarter went for 28.5 minutes for 6 goals, so we're in the 29-minute mark. We've seen 5 goals kicked for the quarter.
Geez, I've just seen Lee have 6 possessions in the space of about 35 seconds, and all for nothing because the ball's been intercepted in the middle of the ground. Umpire calls play on. Bit of a fumbly handball. Morningside's got to be good. Look at that for an intercept from Brown. Brown chips the ball out wide. That's number 23 in Hughes. Hughes will end up with the footy again. Launches the ball. All the numbers with the Panthers, though. That's a bad kick inside 50 and intercepted quite easily by the Panthers' defence.
A rare time where they've gone inside 50 where, well, actually, no, the last 3 times they've gone inside 50, they've missed their target. So that's been pretty stock standard for them over the last 5 minutes of play. A free kick's been given away, and it'll go to the Panthers on the outer side to Hodge.
They didn't need to give that away, the Tigers. Nathan Wright took an easy contested mark. There's Lee across half back. Ends up with a footy. But again, that last kick, that last possession by the Tigers have definitely been off. Speaking of off possessions, ball goes over the head of his teammate for the Panthers, rolls over for another boundary throw-in. We're pretty much right on half-time here. Siren can go any second. Ball getting thrown back in. Both ruckmen going up once more. Hodges there.
Pushing the back.
Another free kick paid. Hodges had a couple of those in the last minute. Now, he doesn't want to turn the ball over, but they might get one last attacking option here. Not the best of handballs. Could be intercepted by the Tigers. It is. That was Anderson. Straight to Hodge again, though, as the siren goes for half-time. Round 9 QAFL action here between Labrador Tigers and the Morningside Panthers. 7-point leaders, the Tigers, 6-6-42 to Morningside 5-5-35. It's half-time action here. We'll be back for third quarter action in a few moments.
My name's James Strybos. I started umpiring at the Jindalee Jags Football Club. I've been going for about 20 years now, and I'm now just becoming an AFL umpire.
So I'm Matthew Young. I've been umpiring for 17 years now. Started at Jindalee Jaguars, also into the QAFL, into the NEFL, VFL, and then finally in the AFL.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I started umpiring at the Aspley Hornets Football Club. I've been umpiring for close to 11 years, and now I'm umpiring AFL football.
I was influenced by my dad. He was running around in Queensland at the time, and then the local footy club at Jindalee wanted some club umpires, so I thought it was a great opportunity to earn a little bit while I could. So I started in club umpiring, and then really quickly kind of found myself wanting to get involved in the Brisbane Juniors, so then made my way through that pathway all the way into senior footy up here in Queensland.
So we started playing together back at Jindalee Jaguars, and he had a history of umpiring in his family with his old man, and seeing James umpire as well got me involved into umpiring. So to now share that experience that we've had for so long, 15 years or whatever it is, 16 years, to now umpire, and hopefully we get to do a game together at AFL level, which will be awesome.
I started playing at Aspley at under 8s football, and then when I got to about under 13s, I started my club umpiring journey there just to make a bit of extra money. Probably like a lot of umpires, I realised that I was a lot better at umpiring than I was at playing. So to get to any sort of decent level, I knew that it wasn't going to be through playing; it was going to be through umpiring. So it was a pretty easy decision in the end.
Down at Jindalee, it was a pint of Coke. Whether it was a scoreboard or club umpiring or goal umpiring. I used to run about 3 or 4 games a weekend and enjoy the 3 or 4 pies and Cokes, which was fantastic. I'm glad it's changed a little bit now.
Absolutely, give it a go. I didn't have a whole lot of interest when I was playing footy until friends and whatnot started umpiring, and then I just loved it from day one. So I think it's a great opportunity for you to build confidence in yourself. There's so many range of areas where you can develop yourself outside of footy as well, and helps you in life in general. So give it a go for sure. It's a journey that I'm so thankful that I took up at a young age.
Obviously, the 3 of us getting put on this year, and there's already 2 on the list at the moment. So to have a good, strong contingent of Queensland umpires on the list is fantastic, and to do it with 2 guys that I've kind of come through the ranks with and umpired a lot of football with, it's really good.
It's been a long road to get to this position, and when the phone call came through, I was pretty speechless. And even now, talking about it, it's still very exciting, and really just looking forward to what challenges are ahead with it.
I think it's probably commitment is the number one thing. A lot of people have a lot of talent and a lot of people have a lot of promise, but I think if you can combine that with commitment and getting everything right off the field and putting in 100% like everything, I think that's probably what it takes is to get there. Yeah.
tried to get out of there, and I threw my phone out and picked up. No, it was cracked, but after the swelling got down, I think after day 2 or 3, after I hit the swelling.
Hold on to that feeling.
Because every week he's with somebody, he's just carrying us a load, so this is his first full season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cook Murphy Oval this afternoon. Thanks for joining us at the Labrador Football Club. And of course, a big welcome to all of our guests from CNW. The boys, Morningside and Labrador, playing off for the CNW Cup today. So good luck to both sides. We've got 3 meat trays that were raffled today. If you're the winner, you can pick them up over at the can bar. So, our first winner today, if you pull your raffle tickets out, the winner is... It's a red ticket, A044. If you're the holder of that ticket, a red ticket, A044, make your way to the can bar and they will provide you with the meat tray. The second winner today of the raffle, if you're holding a green ticket, it's green CO51. That's a green ticket, O51. You're the winner of the second meat tray. Looks like we have a winner on the balcony. One of the sponsors is going to take some meat home tonight. Excellent. And the final winner today of the meat tray raffle is another green ticket. It's C003. If you're the holder of a green ticket, 003, then make your way to the can bar and you're the winner. Thanks for joining us at the Labrador Tigers today. Don't forget, the Labrador Tigers are celebrating their 60 years in 2023, and you can join us on the 24th of June at the Star Casino for our anniversary ball. We'd love to have you join us there. So please see someone at the can bar if you want more information. And we look forward to you celebrating with us this great footy club.
Welcome back to round 9 QAFL action. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined in the comm box by Chris Yendi Yend. Great first half by both these sides. It's a 7-point margin in favour of the Tigers. Home ground advantage staying ahead at this stage. Great first half by both these sides. Great weather for Saturday afternoon footy. Sir Doug Nichols round. Yendi, what do you think of that first half?
Well, Labrador were doing extremely well on the scoreboard there to be in front. They were in front by 13 points early in the first term. We've seen 5 lead changes. The scores have been level 3 times. It's going to be a big big second half.
We've got Mitch Robinson and Tommy Simpson lining up in that midfield battle once again. Morningside went out on that occasion, though. They get the clearance. Again, not a great kick to his teammate. Could be pinned on the ball. Umpire decides no. Well done.
Quick around the grounds too. Aspley lead Sherwood by 37 points. Redland lead Noosa by 13 points. Broadbeach lead Wilson Grange by 2 points. And I'll go through the others later.
As Morningside looked to go inside, attacking 50, I believe that was Robinson, got clipped high, no free kick paid. Goes on with it a little bit of push and shove. No love lost between these two sides. Ball gets hacked inside deep, attacking 50 for the Panthers. Labrador's defence under pressure. Robinson almost took the player out on that occasion. Ball hits the deck. The Panthers have got the numbers, though. They're going to go back into attack now. Kick towards Shaq. Shaq couldn't get his hands on the footy on that occasion. Ball gets absolutely poleaxed. It could be on here. Umpire decides to come in.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a report late.
Oh, geez. Talk about WWE style. Picked him up and body slammed him. Hit the deck really hard. Morningside now. Bit of a hack kick. Probably not going to be a mark. Ball gets locked up again. Umpire handled that whole situation extremely well. All three field umpires handled that well. And Labrador 50 metres out. Sorry, Morningside 50 metres out, trying to go into attack. Labrador's got the footy now, though. Coming through that midfield, this is Simpson. Handballs over the top. They've got a little bit of an overlap going. This Henderson. What a smother by the Panthers, though.
That was McQueen.
They get possession back. McQueen, well done. Handballs over the top. On that far side, a lot of handball back and forth. Decides to go 10 metres backwards, though. A little bit of pressure off. Hacks the ball forward. Good mark taken. Here's Robinson now on that far side wing. Takes a bounce. Kicks him board. Looking for O'Toole. O'Toole gets crunched. Play on, says the umpire. Mark was paid. I thought it would have been a free kick. Could be holding the ball. Anderson, and is.
And they were away there, Labrador, too, because they had 5-4 alone 60 metres out from goal. No one was within 20 metres of him.
Geez, that was brilliant by Morningside on that occasion, but a shocking kick.
We've seen that from both sides throughout the game. The kicks up towards half forward and inside the 50 have been poor.
This is Simpson now. That's better from the Tigers. Going inside 50, that's better. That's right.
Now, if I was Clint Watts, I'd be going, okay, this is what we've got to do. We've seen a poor execution of the ball going up towards half forward at one end, forcing the turnover there from Young, who's taken the mark, and then bang, a couple of kicks, and they've hit targets. It's just something that Morningside haven't done so cleanly.
A lot of intercept play through that corridor as the ball goes towards the goal line. Great front and centre, really hit the pack hard. That's got to be on the ball. That's Hoy. Snaps on goal, but offline for a minor score. Umpire's blowing the whistle. Now, what's going on here? Is that a 50-metre penalty for a bit of push and shove down the ground? It looks like it was Robinson involved again. He's picked himself off the ground quite gingerly.
So that was
that's a massive 50, considering the ball was on the goal line at the other end.
Well, what they've done there is the man on the mark stands about 20 metres out from goal. So they've gone 50 on top of that. So it's basically 70 metres out from goal.
Robinson ends up with a footy once more, goes to that far side, takes a bounce, going inside 50. That's a better kick. Look at that. Great mark taken by, that's Peak, Marcus. On that occasion, his brother popped up with a goal. Adam, on that occasion, kicked the goal earlier in the day. This is Marcus now. Great positioning there. And a good kick inside 50. Dropped the eyes, hit the target. And Peak's lining up for his first goal.
And this is their best passage of play for the entire day. Making the most of that 50-metre penalty, been able to find a target up forward.
That's a goal. Pete's kicked the first of the third quarter for the Panthers. Labrador 6-7-43, just in front of Morningside, 6-5-41. Played just under 5 minutes in this third quarter. quarter. Yendi.
Well, we've seen 5 lead changes in this game. Scores have been levelled 0 times. We've got a couple of other games going on in the QAFL. Maroochydore have got back against Surfers Paradise. They lead that one by 4 points. Palm Beach Currumbin lead Mount Gravatt by 8 points. Broadbeach still lead Wilson Grange by 2 points, 36 to 34. So aside from Sherwood and Aspley, where we're starting to see that margin blow out just a little bit, keeping in mind that Sherwood actually led Aspley by 10 points midway through the first quarter, 12 to 2. Aspley have kicked 7 of the last 8 goals of that contest. That game is going as we expected.
Labrador looking to get the clearance once more. This is Lee going deep inside, attacking 50. One-on-one contest. Great effort by both players. Good tackle laid. Locks the ball about 35 out directly in front for the Tigers. And here's a chance for the Tigers to hit back.
Well, this is where I'm looking at Fife. I'm looking for Coombs. I'm looking for Hoy for Labrador to create an opportunity here when the ball hits the deck.
As the ball just bumbles around, could be locked up again. Great effort by the Tigers. That was Lee again, but Morningside end up with possession. Coming out of defence once more. A nothing kick on that far side wing. Oh, Tigers defence goes bang, lays a tackle, and that's Joel Edwards out there. Laid a brilliant tackle to lock the ball up once more.
That was some good work there from Morningside because they kept pushing up the contest. So they got the ordinary kick, but they followed up and caused the next pressure and forced the stoppage.
Mitch Robertson, hack kick out of that ball up. Good luck marking that ball, guys. Ball hits the deck, could be held, and is.
In that second term, we saw Robbo push up towards centre half forward. I'm not going to be disappointed if he spends a lot of time in this quarter across half back to try and engineer the switch and a quick transition up the forward line.
Speaking of switching the play, they've got a free man on this broadcast side. That's Riddle.
Likely tight. Good play.
Riddle chips the ball in board. Number 31, that's Caddy. Caddy now coming again to this broadcast side. That's Fife. Has been a little bit quiet this afternoon after his first game last week.
But the game opened up a lot last week against Noosa. It was that free-flowing attacking game. This is just a true test of aggression and intensity, and we're not going to see a high-scoring game.
Now, a lot of switching of play, but again, the ball drops short. That was Young out there. Decides to kick the ball into attack. Great mark, guess who? Just like you said, Yendi, he's lined up across half back.
And
intercepting that mark.
And he did it against Henderson too, his old teammate.
No, Robinson. Geez, there'd be no love lost between those two gentlemen this afternoon as Robinson goes short. Mark taken. This is better from the Panthers. They're moving the ball slowly, but with some emphasis on game style. Here's Robertson, gets the quick handball off. Chips over the top. Here's a little bit of an overlap for the Panthers. Panthers going into attack now, one-on-one. Shaq is there, couldn't get possession of the footy. Great tackle by the defence of the Tigers, though. Locks the ball up once more for a ball up.
I didn't mind that there from Morningside. Shaq caught himself out of position. He pushed towards the boundary line, doubled back, caught himself out. Once the ball hit the deck, are able to force a stoppage. Now we've got a multiple stoppage. So it was just as well that Dads was able to come by and provide that assistance there. I think when they're going inside the forward 50 looking for Shaq, it's got to be that first option. And that's what's caused them a lot of troubles going inside forward 50 for much of the game.
I can't see Shaq really launching too much at the footy. He's good one-on-one with the body work, but he hasn't managed to get sort of a couple of steps where he can really launch at it, take a mark. Free kicks paid, though, to the Panthers. Not quite sure what happened there. Might have been held without the footy.
That's Lay. He had a high tackle put on him.
Lay has played pretty well this afternoon. I've liked the way he's played.
That mark across here at half back, that was probably the mark of the day so far.
Lace out Nick Rewald style, ran a mile and took a great mark on the boundary line. As he's lining up now, slow, deliberate, right foot kick. That could be a goal, and is. Look at the Morningside players get around him on that one. Great effort there, and all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure, has Morningside found themselves in front?
They have. And
they have, 7-5-47, leading the Labrador Tigers, 6-7-43. played right on 10 minutes into this third quarter.
If I was a betting man, and I'm not, but I'd say that's probably his first goal in senior footy as well. That is the 6th lead change we've had for the game. Aside from Labrador breaking out to a 13-point lead at the 7-minute mark of the first term, we haven't seen the league go over double digits since. So that is a testament to the tough game that these two teams are playing. You mentioned Alex Fife before, different game style from what we saw last week. We saw over 30 goals kicked, I think 33 goals kicked last week. Different sort of scenario. I want to see how he can react in pressure situations.
Now, all of a sudden, because you've got Robinson staying in the middle, but he's drifting back rather than forward, does Simpson go with him and try and, curtail his influence? Speaking of Robinson, he almost got that clearance again. Here come the Panthers. Free kick paid, though. Who's this one going to? Is that Robinson again?
And the outer zone umpire was able to find that one too.
That's a free kick. Hang on.
He's got to go around the line.
That's a free kick to Lee. Robinson was appealing for it. Decides to go against him to Lee. Lee now kicks the ball right onto the 50-metre arc. Morningside have the numbers, though. Looking to handball over the top. Gets cleaned up. Ball just dribbling around now. The numbers are with the Tigers, though. That's Hoy. Hoy chips the ball inboard, really to no one. But Brown ends up with a footy and kicks a goal. Now, I don't think it was Hoy actually on that occasion. Hoy was around the traps, but he wasn't the one with the footy. He decided to kick the ball forward.
And that was Mercer with the footy.
And that was Mercer.
So, and this 7th lead change of the game. That is just an incredible finish there from Mercer, because he found space where there was none and was able to just correct the kick.
I think it was Caddy. He's playing off that far side wing. I think he was the one that sort of kicked the ball really to no one, but the ball ended up in Mercer's hands and almost ran into an open goal with no pressure at all.
That's what you want to be doing, though. Under pressure like that, you want to be able to just get the ball back up to the corridor, and that's just a reflex thing with players pushing towards the boundary line. Just kick it towards the top of the square or around the corridor.
As Labrador win the tap out on that occasion, but Morningside end up with the footy in hand. Look at the handball to Robinson. Simpson runs him down, though. Great handball inside, attacking 50. Kick on goal. That ball could be coming back. No, not on that occasion. That was Dad's again. He's starting to get into his game. He's had a few possessions. He's looking quite dangerous in that forward 50 for the Panthers as Labrador look to clear again.
1 goal, 1 for Dads today in game 50.
Numbers with the Tigers, though, but again, it's almost the work ethic by the Panthers, isn't it? They're getting first possession on the ball, either being able to lock it up or get an easy possession out. Labrador have had the numbers, but they're not quite working as efficiently as the Panthers at the moment.
We're seeing Morningside apply the same sort of pressure that Labrador did in that first half, I should say.
Here comes Wright. Right, smart. Oh, couldn't get clean possession, though. Hacks the ball, missed out mid-air. Wright ends up with the ball once more. Hacks the ball deep inside 50. No mark taken by the Panthers defence. Snap on goal by Henderson. And that's, guess who? That's Luke Coombs once more out of the goal square. Ends up with an easy chest mark. About 15 out on a slight angle.
And that goes back to what we were saying before. Henderson was running towards the boundary line. Just kick it around the corridor, up towards the top of the square. He knew before he got that ball that Coombs was around the top of the square. So that's just, again, instinct that Clint Watts has pumped into his players.
And Coombs has got another one. Well done, Mr. Coombs. Well done, Mr. Henderson. Well done to the Labrador Tigers. They got another one on the board. That's 8-7, 55 to 7-6, 48. 7-point leaders into this third quarter. We've played just on 14 and a half minutes.
Well, aside from that 13-point lead in the first term, the highest margin that we've had is 8 points, which we got at the start of this quarter when Hoy kicked the opening point of the half. We haven't seen anything greater. So the pressure is now actually going to be on Labrador. If they kick the next one, that's going to pump it back out now to a 13-point lead. And it's going to be hard for Morningside to come back. They haven't kicked back-to-back goals in quite some time. Labrador have been able to do that now. They've kicked back-to-back goals in this passage.
And Coombs is actually staying on that far side wing, which is really interesting. So he's staying on the wing and then he'll either drift back or drift forward depending on who wins possession, and just seems to be ending up in a really good spot, taking easy chest marks. And of course, forward line systems one-on-one, play in front, as he did on that occasion, took an easy chest mark. As Morningside look to clear the ball now. Oh, look at Robertson go. Robertson, right foot kick, gets poleaxed after he kicks the footy. No free kick paid. Ball gets marked on the last line defence by the Tigers as they come out of trouble once more.
And the kick under pressure there from Robertson, but essentially it's another inside 50 kick that was ill-directed.
It's a great contest between Simpson and Robertson. Definitely the contest of the day, one-on-one between those two. Oh, look at that. Shackens up with the ball and kicks a goal. Now, I'm going to apologise because we've been calling him Shaq all afternoon and his last name's actually McLeod. So we're going on a first-name basis here this afternoon. It seems to be a lot easier for the two of us. I didn't actually realise till I had a look. Oh, geez, it's actually his first name, not his last name. So,
but it's so good not to use. I love the instinct there from Shaq. Takes the mark, goes straight away. So sometimes that can go against you too, because you can play on in the top of the goal square, you get penalised. But in that instance there, he's just quick to go, and that's good.
No, you're definitely right there, Yendi. And we've got the everywhere man in right lining up in the ruck once more. Couldn't get the clearance. That was Lee from the Tigers. Hacks the ball towards Henderson. Takes an easy mark. He's probably right on his range. Thought he was going to go. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. Jeez, he's going to be kicking this right on probably 51, 52, directly in front into a bit of a swirly breeze.
Wright was looking for the pass, but Henderson is the only player in this team, aside from Anderson, that can comfortably get this distance.
Here's Henderson now. Right foot kick isn't going to get there. Morningside have the numbers, decide to punch the ball over the line for a rush behind. So Tigers move to 8-8, 56. 2-point leaders, Morningside 8-6, 54. Third quarter QAFL action, round 9. It's really heating up in the kitchen right now.
It's heating up elsewhere too. Mount Gravatt by 3 over Palm Beach Currumbin. Surfers lead Maroochydore by 2 points and scores a level. Broadbeach and Wilston Grange 43 apiece.
Geez, Nelson took a great grab there. That kick out. He's been good this afternoon, Nelson. Launches the ball, decides to switch. Labrador player got a little bit of a shove. No free kick paid. Morningside 1-on-2 there. Now the numbers get there for the Panthers. Handball hacking away. That could be a free kick again to the Panthers. No.
Whistle had stopped, so it had been called time off in that instance. Magnificent work done on that outer side there from Damien Martin. He had a couple of defenders there, but he kept working hard, and he was able to do enough that eventually forced the stoppage, resulted in a free kick. That says a lot about where Morningside, they're trailing on the scoreboard, but they've lifted their intensity and they've played a lot more smarter football, which has been a testament to just how well they are. This is going to be the crucial kick for them.
No, you're definitely right. That kick inside 50, they've struggled a little bit in to hit a target, launches the ball deep, and again, gets intercepted by the Tigers. They've got Brown on this near side.
Got to hold it up now, Labrador, because Morningside do have numbers across this side of the ground.
That is not a good kick towards the boundary line. Is that out on the full? Yes, it is.
They needed to hold it up.
Oh, shocking drop mark there by the Panthers. Got the time, though. They're looking to switch. They've got some open players on that open side. Again, doesn't hit the target, though.
This will work for him.
He's got some time, chips the ball in. Look at that for a kick. Oh, guess who? That's Coombs again intercepting. Great effort there. He's just about best on ground this afternoon, Coombs. I've loved the way he's played. Chips the ball to the goal square, and Wright's taken an easy mark on the last line.
And Labrador are going to find it very hard to get this ball out with much conviction at the moment.
You got Anderson there. Doesn't really go up for the mark, though. The ball hits the deck, rolling towards the boundary line. Brown trying to keep it in. Ball rolls over.
It's a great result there for Labrador there because Morningside virtually had one-on-ones plus a couple of spares, so it was going to be very challenging unless they took a contested mark. This gives them the chance to reset and reposition and push numbers back inside their forward half to create options.
Both ruckman go up again. Simpson goes to ground though. No free kick paid. Here's Morningside now. Pretty smart kick. Does he get there? No, he doesn't. Ball rolls over. He was looking for Lay.
Mitch Robertson, we're on his watch a little bit today, but he started the quarter in the midfield and then drifting to half back. Now he's in a direct one-on-one contest with Young inside his forward line, standing about 30 metres out from goal. So a rush kick, look out, that could be a good one-on-one.
But Labrador looking to get the clearance once more, decide to handball backwards. They're trying to free up some time. Kick down the line towards Henderson. Great effort though. Number 4. Bloody Howson's done a pretty good job when he's lined up on Henderson, especially up the ground, being able to clear the ball away. Henderson isn't getting any easy possessions up the ground.
Howson's had a pretty good season defensively. He doesn't get a lot of possessions of the ball, but his effective scores have been impressive.
Geez, all of a sudden you got Adam Peake gained a few possessions of the footy, launches the ball inside 50.
Where's his back?
And
that's McLeod. Shaq McLeod, as we've called him this afternoon, laying a brilliant tackle, lock it in, wanders back to the goal square. I have liked his game this afternoon, Mr. McLeod. He's done extremely well. This is Anderson. Anderson for the Tigers, launches the ball towards Henderson. Henderson can't get clean possession. Howson was there, couldn't get possession either. Henderson, oh geez, look, Henderson's grabbed the left hamstring. I think he's gone.
Is he G-A-W-N?
I think he's G-O-N-N-E. Gone. That left hamstring definitely grabbed at it in that contest. I reckon he won't be back this afternoon, which is a massive loss for the Tigers, considering how close the contest is. And guess what? The ball's ended up just about dropping in his lap. Yeah, he's no good at all. He's absolutely shot, Henderson. As the ball goes forward, good mark taken by the Tigers.
This is a big moment in footy for Henderson.
That's Mercer. Mercer kicks the ball inside 50. Great diving mark. And I tell you what, his head bounced off the ground. He's popped up pretty gingerly as well.
That's Hughes.
That's Hughes.
Now, big moment there for Henderson. 2 games in a row in the last 3 weeks where he's injured himself. I don't want to make a big call, but we could be seeing the last of Lockie Henderson, given all the postseason surgery he had last year. Oh, at the end of last year into this season. That's a big moment for us as football fans.
No, you're definitely right there, and he definitely grabbed at that left hamstring.
That was high up, wasn't it?
That was really high up. He knew straight away there was a serious problem. Unfortunately for the Panthers, they've actually given away a 50. That ball was drifting to this near side for a point. And unfortunately, 50-metre penalty paid for standing over the mark. And an easy shot right in the goal square for Hughes. This will be massive turnaround for a 10-point lead. Labrador have moved to 9-8-62. 8-point leaders, Morningside 8-6-54.
Now, one of the key stats I've been looking at across the game today is scores in time on. We are in the time on at the moment. And Labrador actually lead that stat, 4-3-27, with scores in time on to 1-1-7. So they're plus 20. So they're a 20-point better side across the game with time on. With Morningside only kicking 1 goal, 1. This is a big moment for them, Morningside, because what happens over the next 5 minutes is going to be crucial. The game could either slip away from them or they can peg that back because they want to be able to run the game out stronger, and they probably have been the better side.
No, you're definitely right there, Andy. They've definitely had the ascendancy, Morningside, as they get the clearance once more. They've been really good in that area. No mark taken at half forward, trying to get the handball out, gets slammed into the ground, no free kick paid, gets caught. Umpire decides to come in, ball that one up.
Well, they're just pushing forward Morningside. They're getting that ball forward. The next goal, it is going to be so crucial.
Labrador got a spare about 10 metres behind the footy from this contest. So you would think McLeod has almost got to stand right next to that spare just to make a contest if the ball does get hacked forward. Here's a shot on goal, though. That could be another one to the Panthers, and they're still in it. Geez, that's Dad's once more. Just ball ended up in his lap from that ball up, and launched the ball from 35 out straight over the goal umpire's head, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point margin. Labrador leading 9-8-62, Morningside 9-6-60. We've played almost 26 minutes into this third quarter.
Yeah, it's been a 4-goal to 3-quarter in favour of Morningside. So it's a 7-goal quarter. It's the highest scoring quarter that we have seen. We've seen quarters go for 28.5 and 31 minutes. You mentioned about that loose player dropping back, or clearly off the pack. There was instruction from Robertson to get, it was Cade Scott out on that 1-on-1. That just freed up a little bit of space, freed up some of that congestion. Sometimes that can go against you. That's what happened against Labrador there. Dad's found himself in space and kicked the goal.
Geez, make that spare accountable. Make him work. Don't let him just stand there and intercept at will. This is Simpson now across half back. Look at that for a tackle. No free kick paid. The Panthers are swarming. Here we go now. Could be held on the ball. No. Here's Robinson. Massive kick. Inside out torpedo. Oh, Shaq! What a mark! 2-on-1 in the goal square. McLeod's ended up taking an absolute screamer. And he's right on that angle. Now he's getting pushed right on the boundary line. This will be a test for the young man. Oh, Shaq, attack, eat your heart out. Check side. Geez, you give me a rev up and he kicks it down the full. So
I forced you to use that.
You forced me to use that analogy, and all of a sudden it's blown up in my face. Thank you very much, Yendi. We'll get back to you after the game. I'll talk to you in the car park. As Labrador look to clear once more, can't get possession. That's Hoy. Hoy just hacking the ball towards the boundary line. Is that deliberate? Yes, it is.
You're an idiot.
Morningside now looking to attack. Chips the ball towards half forward. No mark taken. Labrador again. Really almost the perceived pressure at the moment. Just hacking the ball clear. That's Hodge. Hodge looking to switch. Oh, look at Hoy. Just couldn't get clean possession. Would have been away if he had. Kicks the ball inside 50, but again...
Another poor inside 50.
The intercept marking ability of Labrador this afternoon has caused all sorts of problems for the Panthers.
Bristow's been doing it at both ends too, because he has taken marks up at half forward. He's now doing it in defence. So he's really showing his versatility and ability to cover a lot of ground. And got good safe hands too.
Now the ball's on that far side. They're going to look to switch once more. Got to be clean here though. They can't just... If the ball hits the deck, they could be in a lot of strife. Morningside are pushing up.
They've got to get it to Coombs out here. He's about 60 metres away from this contest.
And Coombs has been standing there for a good probably 40 seconds on his own. And all of a sudden...
Now he's got to push out. He's got to push right out to the wing, Coombs, and be an option.
That was Young. Ball gets intercepted though. It's in Robertson's hands. That could be holding the ball. No free kick paid. Morningside now. Hack the ball inside 50. No mark taken. Look at the front centre. Great smother there by the Tigers as they look to clear once more. Straight to Coombs on that.
Maintaining his composure now, Coombs. We've still probably got 3 or 4 minutes left in this quarter, I would feel. But he's got to go down the line.
Down the line, right, launches. Anderson was there too. No one could take easy possession. Tackle laid. Here come the Panthers. Left foot attempt to kick. Ball drifts over. Out on the full.
There has a feel about this one that it doesn't feel like it's a third term. It feels like the last quarter. Everything has just been thrown into this period of play heading into three-quarter time.
You got Labrador's full list, Morningside's full list, and add that the kitchen sink. Everything getting thrown at the footy in this third quarter. No free kick paid. Umpire comes in, says, "Give it to me, guys. I'm going to throw that one up once more." That was Peake again. Peake's had a pretty solid third quarter as he ends up with a footy once more.
Speaking of solid quarters, McQueen's played really well.
No, you're definitely right there. McQueen's had a really good first quarter. That was a shocking handball. As Labrador look to clear once more. That's Simpson. Simpson, though. It's either a mark or it's down the full.
Godwin's got the mark at the moment. He's played most of this game in the midfield after kicking 6 goals last week over Broadbeach.
It's a real interesting one. I would have thought he might have ended up deeper in attack. But, geez, talk about intercepting possessions between the arcs, these two at the moment. It's been the story of the tape all day long. Labrador looking to switch now. Again, though, going backwards.
That's Coombs again. 50-metre penalty.
50-metre penalty.
And you mentioned, like, Godwin probably should be playing a lot more up forward, but he's getting deliveries like that, the ones that he was kicking there, the kicking inside that forward 50. The best forwards in the competition can't mark what's been dished up a lot of that times, and it's been for both teams sometimes.
Labrador can't get clean possession. The numbers are with the Panthers. Looking to come on this broadcast side wing. Ball just overcooked. Rolls over the boundary line for another boundary throw-in.
Just needed to go the two hands there, Lay.
I think Lay was trying to get off the ground. The ball was following him around. As both ruckmen come in once more. It's been a good contest between these two this afternoon. Tigers get possession though. Hack the ball inside 50 as the siren goes. 3-quarter time here, and it's perfectly poised for a brilliant fourth quarter. Round 9 QAFL action between Labrador and Morningside. Labrador leading by 2 points, 9-8-62. Morningside 9-6-60. We'll be back for fourth quarter QAFL action in a few moments.
Yeah, so he's been playing and then going to make one. Played it together, yeah. That's massive. That's a good deal. Freo's no stranger to being Melbourne. Sorry? Yeah, they haven't. This is the game that you need. This is the game that he needs. Oh. How about you go up and I'll stay down? I have got a pretty good fishing. But that's the last way to have it.
And welcome back, ladies and gents, to round 9 QAFL action. Round 2 of this Doug Nichols Indigenous round. An epic clash between these two. The Labrador Tigers holding on to a 2-point lead in front of Morningside. 9-6-60. Labrador leading 9-8-62. Quarter 4 action. My name's Kane Bradley. I'm joined in the comm box by Chris Yend on special comments. What do you think this game is lining up as, Yendi?
It'll come down to the last 5 minutes, I think. We haven't seen the margin grow bigger than 8 points since early in the first term. 7 lead changes, 3 times scores have been level. Actually, make that 4 times. It is going to be a genuine arm wrestle. It's going to be survival of the fittest.
Now, Dylan Swan, number 6 for Morningside, has got the job on Simpson in this last quarter. Simpson could unleash like he did against Mount Gravatt. If they're not careful, Morningside definitely need to kick the first one here. Ball rolls out towards Dads. Dads is pretty clean, good effort, rolling towards the boundary line, gets pushed over for a boundary throw-in. First ball in of the quarter. 2-point margin between these two. Massive implications for the winner this afternoon, as Yendi got some around the grounds, I believe.
Broadbeach 51-45, they're +6 over Wilston Grange. We've got Maroochydore 72, lead Surfers Paradise 64, they're +8. Palm Beach Currumbin got a late goal in the third term. They lead Mount Gravatt by 12 points, 76-64. And Redlands by 5 goals over Noosa and 50 points the margin between Aspley and Sherwood.
50-point margin between those two.
Not bad.
Not bad considering top versus bottom this afternoon. As the ball rolls towards the boundary, actually goes out. Unfortunately for the Tigers, who had taken a mark about 35 out directly in front. Ball gets called back. Here's a chance for the Tigers to get the first one of the quarter to increase that lead.
That Aspley and Sherwood game is very interesting because, as we spoke about, Sherwood are depleted on numbers through injuries and plays into VFL. They've had to blood a 16-year-old and 2 18-year-olds, including one on Connor Stackelberg today, who's kicked 4 goals.
Here's Simpson. Simpson towards Hoy. Couldn't get possession of the footy. Good tackle laid. Unfortunately dropped off the tackle. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Here's Lee. Snap on goal. And just missing.
Anderson.
Was that Anderson, was it? Yep. And, geez, the crowd went up behind the fence, but it turned out to be a point. Doing the Liberatore routine. I swear to God I kicked it. Turns out you didn't. As Morningside come out of defence once more.
Number 33 making the margin 3 points for the first time today.
Geez, you had to throw that one in there, didn't you, Andy? Well done, mate. As Morningside look to clear now. Ball heads towards Nelson. Couldn't take the mark. Labrador looking to clear through the corridor. Chips the ball. That's Simpson. Overran the footy, the Morningside player on that occasion. Simpson launches the ball straight to the goal square. Oh, hits the post. Jeez. And again, a couple of pot shots on goal early. Unfortunately, hasn't hit the mark quite yet. They move their 4-point leaders, though. 64-60 in favour of the Tigers. Early part of this final quarter.
Labrador can get one here. They'll put the game away, I think.
This is Lee. Chipping the ball inside 50, no mark taken, all the pressure. This is Hoy. Couldn't get possession of the footy though, was just off the mark. Shocking handball by the Panthers. All the pressure now on them. Handball's over the top. Good poise there by the Panthers. Chips the ball down the line. Great mark taken, but got to hold it up.
They do, because they only had 2 players forward of the contest, one of them being Dads, and the other one being Shaq.
This is O'Toole. O'Toole chips the ball. Down the line, got a little bit of an overlap if he decides to go. Cooper Anderson was good just to shut that down.
Godwin's come a long way from his 6-goal performance, but as we've highlighted, he spent the entire game in the midfield.
Oh, speaking of Anderson, great smother there. Puts the pressure back on the Panthers. Shocking kick into the corridor. They turn it over here. They could be gone. Morningside win the ball back, though. Ball gets locked up. No handball over the top. Numbers with the Tigers. Look at the run in here. Fife's there if they're good enough to get the ball to him. There he is. Ball doesn't quite manage to get there, though. Fife's there. Right foot kick. Look at that. Great mark. Great poise. Great kick. Good mark. And sets up a shot on goal.
They should be getting around to him a lot more, Fife. I know the runner's gone over there, but that was good awareness. He knew his teammate was there. He just had to turn his opponent inside out, and the kick had to be perfect, and it certainly was. And it frees up Hughes, who has been quite influential up forward as a target.
Yeah, he hasn't. I don't think he's kicked a major as yet, but he's definitely presented well, taken a few marks, but ran to good spots. So as he kicks on goal, there's another one. That's what they needed, the Tigers, to start the fourth quarter. They moved to a 9-point lead, 10-9-69, Morningside 9-6-60. All of a sudden, that 9-point margin is pretty important to start this fourth quarter. We've played just over 5 minutes.
It's certainly been a pulsating start for Labrador. They've kicked 1 goal, 2 on the board, and they've opened up a very handy lead. We haven't seen a lead of this magnitude since early in the first term. But they're doing all the dominating now. They're moving the ball really quickly. And as we've highlighted time and time again, they've got a bit of structure upside the forward line. When you Morningside that you're missing Downey as that key forward presence, it certainly restructures your forward line in a major way.
Well, you got Goodwin and Peake in that midfield battle at the moment. Free kick to the ruckman, though. That's Hodge. Hodge looking to go inside 50. Hoy almost cut that one off. Ball gets launched right on the 50-metre arc. Labrador's got the numbers, though. They could be kicking in danger, and is. Free kick to the Tigers, and again, just relieves the pressure valve. Morningside really didn't need to do it as the ball gets cleared now through Jed Riddle.
And enjoying this little contest out here in front of us at the moment between McQueen and Fife.
Now, McQueen's basically given quite a bit of margin there. He's standing 10 metres in front of him, almost ball watching.
Got to respect the second gamer.
If he's not careful, Fife, we know how good he can be. He's just drifting through that corridor at the moment. I'm trying to keep an eye on him. As the ball gets pushed towards that 50-metre arc now, ball hits the deck. Labrador's got possession though. Here's Cooper Anderson. Launches the ball, right foot kick. Pushing across though for another minor score. They move to 10-10-70. 10-point leaders, Morningside 9-6-60. We've played just on 7 minutes, I believe, in this last quarter.
I think that scoreboard is 1 point out as well. Labrador.
Oh, that's not good if it gets close later on.
But
all the pressure on the goal umpires when that siren goes at the end if it's really close.
Well, we've got 1 goal, 3 for the quarter, which makes the score 10-11.
10-11-71. But all of a sudden, Labrador's got all the numbers and their work rate's starting to go through the roof, which they haven't really been able to show consistently all day. All of a sudden, to start this last quarter, this is Chechen, who's ended up taking a dive and mark, probably right on his range, but he's kicking with that slight breeze. He'll be kicking right on probably 52 metres out directly in front.
I think it may just fall a tad short, but the way the breeze has been blowing at the moment, it carries the ball an extra 5 metres in the air. So if he gives it a little bit of hang time.
No, you're right, Yendi. That definitely drops short. Morningside able to get the ball to ground though. Ball drifts towards the boundary line, but that's probably good. That's a win for the Tigers. Another boundary throw in deep inside attacking 50. They can set up, lock the ball in for the next few minutes and try and get another shot on goal.
Well, they've been peppering her at the moment. They've had 4 shots on goal for the quarter for a return of 1 goal, 3 to open up a 11-point lead early in this final term.
There's a free kick paid. Is it going to Labrador? I believe it is. And guess who? It's the young fella, Matty Hoy, number 44. Not much of him, the young man, but geez, I'd be dreaming to have the same length of hair that he has. I've got 0. He's got a ton.
The flushest locks.
The flushest locks. John Farnham, eat your heart out. As he comes in now, right foot kick. That's drifting again, though. Geez, they definitely peppering to start this last quarter. Could come back to bite them at the end of the quarter, though. Morningside really hasn't gone inside 50 all the possessions with Labrador at the moment. And I believe it's 10-12, 72. 12-point lead is 9-6, 60 Morningside.
Almost at a game-high lead at the moment, which was 13 points in the third term. The pressure is on Morningside. They need the next one.
Geez, they need to take a couple of marks. That's better from the Panthers. Launches the ball, attacking. Great effort there by the defence of the Tigers, though. Pushing the ball towards the boundary line, just chips it in front of himself. Gets possession of the footy. Nelson goes bang! Great tackle laid. Umpire comes in. Nothing in that, boys. I'm going to throw that one up once more.
That's a win there for Morningside, because when the ball went up towards half forward, there was no one behind that contest. So they couldn't. They had no options going inside that forward 50.
Simpson gets the ball out. Ball gets smothered, though, drifting towards that boundary once more. That was Bailey Brown. Ball drifts over the boundary line. Another boundary throw in the right part of the ground for Morningside, though. Right on the 50-metre arc, pretty much. Here's a chance. They really need to take advantage of the position on the ground they're in at the moment. Try and get another goal on the board. Close that space. Cooper Anderson, though, gets possession of the footy for the Tigers. Hacks the ball forward. Goes to ground, Morningside. 2-on-1 here. Here's a chance. Look at that booming handball through the corridor. This is Simpson. Simpson to Hoy. Back to Simpson. Right foot kick into an open goal. What a goal! What a goal. Almost player of the day by the Tigers. Hoy to Simpson. Back to Hoy. Back to Simpson. Right foot kick. Open goal. And that could be all she wrote for the Tigers.
It's going to be a hard road to come back here for Morningside. They're 18 points down, and they haven't kicked a goal since the 25-minute mark. They haven't kicked a score since the 25-minute mark, which happened to be a goal in the third term, and that was 17 minutes ago. In that time, it's been a barrage of scoring opportunities, 2-4 to nothing in that time, and it's just opened the game right up. And when you get a momentum goal like that, it's really going to change the landscape of the game, making it very challenging, because getting a goal on the overlap there, and Hoy to Simpson, just that tandem working together, it's a magnificent thing to watch.
No, and that's the massive key in that passage of play there. Clean possession. They were super clean, worked together really well. And Simpson, like he's been doing all year, finished off beautifully as Morningside look to go into attack now. Got the clearance. This is Bailey Brown. Brown chips the ball forward towards Simpson. Simpson's slows it up. Goes towards half forward. Mark dropped. Handball off. Beautiful effort there by the Tigers. Kicks the ball deep inside 50. Dwyer, though, intercepts again.
Top of the arms.
Chop of the arms or an intercept mark, whichever one you want to take.
He's got some of the safest hands of a player of his age. He's sort of in his early 20s, and he's got a lot of development ahead of him. I'd be interested to see just how Paul Egan uses him across this season.
No, he's so good in the air, but it's not like he's taking one-on-one contest pushing off his man. He's intercepting at Will Kane across, which then allows that overlap on the far side. So he's been pretty good this afternoon. Right, speaking of intercepting, he took one there, launches the ball, no mark taken, ball hits the deck, Labrador end up with it. Just trying to get a view here, apologies. Simpson ends up with a footy. This could be another goal, left foot, snap, rolls. Oh, just drifts across. Is that a free kick? But it's to Morningside.
Yep, so the player's got to come back at least 10 metres. There was a hold in the attempt to try and shepherd that through there from Hughes. So hence the free kick to the Morningside defender.
Morningside now trying to come out of defence. Heads the ball towards Griffiths. Couldn't take the mark. Back to Griffiths. Handballs into space. Pressure on. That's a Geez, that's the perceived pressure, thinking he was going to get absolutely poleaxed by a Tigers opponent.
One thing to take into consideration too is the Morningside. They've got a very young defence there with McQueen, with Griffiths in there, and of course
Dwyer?
Yep, and the player we were talking about before. Yep, and then McCarthy as well when he plays in defence, number 21 there too. So he's hovering around there at centre half back. So they've got a very young defence anyway, and they're playing against a very physical and experienced Labrador lineup that is now without Henderson for the rest of the game.
Yeah, Henderson pulled the left, twinged that left hamstring. It almost looked like he tore it rather than twinged it. So he's gone missing since three-quarter time.
I think Wright's been given the licence to do what he wants across the of defensive side of the ground. There's a 50-metre penalty has been awarded, but Wright will do as he pleases now to try and play that loose man.
And Wright's, yep, you're right there. He's gone down in defence on O'Toole. O'Toole trying to lead out of the goal square. As a ball, great kick, inside 50, running onto it there. And here's a chance for the Panthers. They've definitely got to kick this one. It's a 17-point margin according to the scoreboard. We're not quite sure on that.
It is 18 points.
18 points, so 3-goal margin at the moment between these two. But here's a chance for the Panthers to get one back.
Well, this is the second goal they can get, courtesy of set up through a 50-metre penalty through the corridor.
We've played right on 15 minutes in this final quarter. Comes in now, right foot kick. Geez, umpire almost got taken out. It is a goal. The Labrador defender almost took a specky on the goal umpire. Goal umpire was good enough, saw what was going on. Ball went over her head anyway. So wave that off as a all clear.
Doesn't matter how they look, Kano, as long as they go through. This gives us a chance to go around the grounds as the margin tightens up here. The margin's starting to tighten up in a few of the other games. Wilston Grange have hit the front against Broadbeach, 63-58 by 5 points. Maroochydore hold a 2-goal lead over Surfers Paradise. And Palm Beach Currumbin, you talk about the goal that was kicked before by Simpson. They've got a steadier over there. They're starting to open up some space against Mount Gravatt. They're 16 points to the good, 83-67 in the last quarter, while Redlands still lead Noosa by 5 goals. And Sherwood and Aspley hasn't been up that in a while, but that's running its course.
But well done to Sherwood early on. They started the game pretty well against the ladder leaders.
They were 10 points up, Kano.
They were 10 points up. Should have blown the siren then. Would have been upset of the decade. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be the case, as players were appealing for a slinging tackle there. No free kick paid on that far side. Half forward for Morningside, as they look to try and get into attack, get another one back on that scoreboard, get that margin a little bit closer, probably halfway through this last quarter. Ball gets hacked towards Labrador's goal though. Here's a chance to intercept. This is Coombs. Coombs handballs over the top. Back to Coombs. Coombs, not quite sure where to go. Hacks the ball forward. No one at home. This ball could drift forward. Speaking of Five's there now. Couldn't intercept though. Looking to come back the other way. He's gone boundary side. Dangerous kick though. This is Bailey Brown. Clean possession. Looks to go inside attacking 50. No mark taken. Could be a free kick. None paid. This is Fife again. Just hacks the ball forward. Got to be clean here, Morningside. Hawley's hovering around. Simpson's hovering around. Morningside still got possession of the footy though.
Good defensive work here
and
from
they're
Labrador.
coming out of defence once more.
There's really good pressure there from Labrador. They basically suffocated Morningside and into constant errors just like this one.
O'Toole though, shocking kick off the boot. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Probably 55 out.
Look out for O'Dwyer here.
Launches. All players go up. Coombs is going to end up with a footy though, and does. Couldn't get possession, but a goal's kicked. Or is it?
Yep.
Was that touched? Umpire looks for the all clear. He's going to come in and debate with the boundary umpire, the goal umpire.
This is amazing. We need to see more of this. We're seeing all umpires conferring. I love it. This is great.
But a goal's been paid. Now, that wasn't Coombs, but he set it up. He got in front of his man, between him and the the drop of the ball, was able to get the ball out to a teammate who decided to kick it off the ground, snuck it through about 6 blokes, and just rolled over the line. A little bit of debate between umpires, but it turned out to be a goal. That's the goal Labrador needed, just to hold that momentum again. It's 12-12-84, according to the scoreboard, 10-6-66.
Yep, and the scoreboard is correct.
Scoreboard is correct. Thank you very much.
We've got the best in the business here.
Oh, we're doing extremely well.
But that's a killer there, right there. Just a half opportunity that Labrador have been making the most of, of course, across this game. Something Morningside just couldn't do in that third term when they had the momentum.
Ball back in the middle. McAndrew throws the ball in, gets a kick on the ball. Here's a chance for the Panthers. They really need the next one quickly. Ball gets locked in. Could have dived on the ball.
I'm
No.
going to ask you a question, mate. Mitch Robinson, is he on the ground? Is he injured as well?
Well,
I can't see him.
I must admit I haven't spotted him for the last probably 4 or 5 minutes. He could be injured. I mean, he did get a knock early on in the day where his head bounced off the turf. But I think you're right, Yendi. I can't see him on the ground at the moment, which would be a massive blow to the Panthers.
And I just think of that in terms of the midfield. If he wasn't injured,
He'd definitely be in the contest, wouldn't he? As the Tigers look to clear, dive on the footy, appeals made, no free kick. Umpire comes in and ball it up. There's been plenty of ball ups and boundary throw-ins and just about everything in between this afternoon between these two sides. The margin's pretty close still. Game's not quite over yet, as Morningside are desperately trying to get possession of the footy. Labrador, a bit of poise. That's a good kick. Far side.
Labrador play Redlands Victoria Point next
Ooh,
week.
massive game.
They're 34 points up to the moment. To the good that we actually called that fixture last year where was it Labrador that beat? No, I'm thinking Palm Beach Currumbin.
Yeah, no.
That beat the Redlands Victoria Point. But for Morningside, they take on Wilston Grange next week, and if they are able to topple the Cats, which they will because they're 19 points up, big game, Kano. The top 6. It's becoming a bottleneck.
Nothing better for the QAFL for 2023. As Wright, good kick to Anderson. Anderson handballs the ball inboard. Kick inside, attacking 50. Coombs is there. Couldn't get his hands on the footy. That was, that was McQueen again cutting across, pushing the ball over the boundary line. Well done.
Talk about ladder positions. If Morningside go down, Wilston Grange jump Broadbeach and Morningside and slot into third position on the ladder. So they jump from 5th to 3rd.
Jeez, massive results in round 9 QAFL action 2023. Players launch, no one could take the mark. Great effort there by the Panthers defence. Ball ends up in the hands of Labrador though. That could be a free kick, and is. That looked like a definite push in the back. Free kick paid. Now this could definitely finish it off here for the Tigers. We've played just over 22 minutes. Scored 12-12-84. Labrador leading Morningside 10-6-66. Here's a chance to probably put the last nail in the coffin of the Panthers this afternoon. The first game for Clint Watts, coaching Labrador in his first game against his former side. Left foot kick, and there's another one. They've moved to 13-12-90, 10-6-66. Played right on 23 minutes in this final quarter, Yendi. And geez, at some point, I'd love you to go through some best players from both sides, maybe a 3-2-1
That's always
for best on ground.
I'm going through the life ladder at the moment. Wilston Grange, as I alluded to before, have moved up into third position on the ladder. They're just behind behind Redlands Victoria Point. The win at the moment with the current results, Surfers Paradise and Labrador Labrador will leap Surface Paradise because Maroochydore will beat Surface at this stage. So Labrador will move into 7th position. But as we highlighted, with Morningside going down and Broadbeach going down at likely, Wilston Grange will slot into 3rd.
Advantage paid for the Panthers here. They've got to get the next goal and get it extremely quickly. Left foot snap on goal. That could be the first one, and
Is that quick enough for you?
that took about 23 and a half seconds, I believe, from centre clearance to a goal. Got the advantage from the umpire. Was able to run inside 50, snap on goal. Great finish. They get that one back. Scores 13-12-90 Labrador. Morningside 11-6-72.
Well,
It's still an 18-point margin. 3 goals, 3 straight kicks. Could they get 3 centre clearances and kick 3 goals quickly? All of a sudden, the pressure's right back on.
Well, we've seen quarters go 28.5, 31 and 31. We've seen 6 goals for the quarter, which is the equal second highest quarter of lengthwise. This is going to go to around 29 to 30 if not much happens on the scoreboard. So already as it is. So there is a chance the next goal, though, is going to be crucial because they've had trouble kicking back-to-back goals all day, Morningside.
That's Hodge. They get the clearance. There's a mark about 80 metres out, way too far out to score. That's Lay. Lay launches the ball towards Shaq. Shaq can take the mark, but I believe it's a free kick.
For a hold or a hold of the arm, I think.
Just holding the arm in the contest, I believe.
So the Labrador defender held on with one arm, using one hand, and spoiled with the other.
It's
That's
like
multitasking.
It's like walking down the aisle at a wedding, mate.
Exactly.
Well done.
Married to the task of being a defender.
Wow. Welcome to being a forward. Right foot kick, unfortunately, drifts at the last possible moment. That's a missed opportunity. They've got to lock the ball in now, though. Now, I'm not quite sure how many goals has McLeod kicked this afternoon. Is that sort of like 2 goals 2 or 2 goals 3, I believe? 2-2. He could have had 4. He's had a couple of easy shots that he's missed. Labrador decided to go straight up the corridor towards right. Morningside with the numbers. Here's Dads. Dads handballs off. Launches inside 50 once more. But guess who? Coombs. Who dead set, you'd love to see his GPS numbers this afternoon because he'd have Ks on everyone this afternoon as the Tigers almost cut each other off though. Tackle laid.
Quick around the ground.
Jumping tackle. Free kick.
Maroochydore will only lead Surface Paradise by 1 point. That is the thriller of today. Wilson Grange are beating Broadbeach by 26 points. That is a foregone conclusion, man.
Jeez. It's Labrador.
You can hear the emotion from the fraternity here today. People love their footy.
We've got a balcony literally to my left, ladies and gents, on this broadcast side wing. Plenty of strong vocal challenges towards the umpiring this afternoon as a big fellow McQueen again. He's had a really solid afternoon, McQueen. I've really liked the way he's gone about his footy.
Probably been their
He's probably been their best, to be honest, Yendi. You're right.
Hodge hasn't been too far behind, but he's been the best big man on the ground.
Launches the ball towards Nelson. No mark taken. Ball drifting. Right on, attacking 50 for the Panthers, who get possession now. They've got some numbers behind the footy. Kicks the ball inside 50. Who's going to mark this? One player goes up. One player marks it. And guess who? It's Fraser Lay. He's been great with his marking ability all afternoon, but decides to chip the ball forward. Dangerous kick. Lucky that actually even went the 15. Is it 15 metres or 10?
15.
15. Well, if that went 15, I'll walk home with no shoes on.
Thankfully, you only live down the road.
And I'm only living in Southport, so even better. But Morningside need to kick the goal now. This is Nelson. Launches the ball. Oh, hits the post.
They've had their chances.
Now, Labrador were pot-shotting to the start of the quarter. All of a sudden, the back end of the quarter, Morningside are doing the same thing. But unfortunately, they're trailing on the scoreboard. It's a 16-point margin. 13-12-90 to 11-8-74. Labrador need to get clean possession now, defence right now. Unfortunately, they haven't managed it. Handball's in board. Who's the kick to, though? Chips the ball down. Intercept mark, not taken. Handball's over the top. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Good tackle laid. That's go behind the ball, and is.
We have been given a time reference to 2 minutes to go.
2 minutes to go. And Lay's gone down as well. Oh, step, weave, dodge, right foot kick. Is that a goal? No. Again, they've probably kicked, what, 1 goal, 3 in the last 5 minutes, Morningside?
Correct.
And when you think it's pretty much a 3-goal margin, 4-goal margin.
They've had a poster. Shaq missed one from gettable range. They've had their opportunities. They have been gettable.
Geez, Lay's coming off the ground, extremely ginger. It's a right leg injury. The ball was drifting towards him. He's got to come off the ground.
They're -1 here, Morningside, with that injury.
Labrador's got the overlap, chips the ball forward towards Hoy, gets cleaned up after possession, and 50. Oh, and his teammates come in, do not give a reversal.
Do not need this at all. Hodge,
get out there, mate. Don't do anything silly.
We've praised McQueen for a solid game. That's the most negative thing he's done for the entire contest.
And Hoy, again, is probably in the top 2 or 3 for Labrador this afternoon. For such a little man, he's worked extremely hard this afternoon. As we were talking about the longest 50 before in favour of Morningside, all of a sudden this has to be one of the shortest 50s I've ever seen in my life. It looked like it's gone about 25 metres. As Hoy, the last nail in the coffin against Morningside here this afternoon. Right foot kick. Look at that. That's done it. That's the ball game. Hoy kicks a great goal. Labrador 14-12-96. Morningside 11-9-75. We can't be that far away from a final siren, Yendi.
Yeah, I think probably maybe inside the last minute now. And we'll talk about our 3-2-1s post-game, but I think because of how hard this game has been physically, players coming in and out, it'd be hard-pressed to name 6 players that have been the ultimate standouts across all 44 players out there today. We want to highlight that Robertson hasn't been on the ground, I think, for the entire last quarter, so potential injury there. Henderson went down with an injury. So you're taking 2 of the best players out of the game, and you're looking at just raw, pure talent going toe-to-toe at the moment. It's been an absolute treat to watch, and the way Simpson has played, he's probably been the most experienced player that has continued to deliver as Morningside press back inside the forward line again. There's a little bit of a scuffle and allows the umpire to call play on, and Morningside hoping to get a late one here.
Another minor score rolls through for a point. Literally a 20-point margin at present. We've played just about 32 minutes in this final quarter. Siren probably imminent as the Tigers look to clear the ball out of defence. No mark taken, ball drifting towards the boundary line. No one can take clean possession except Morningside, who kicks the ball, gets punched 10 metres over the fence. But I'm pretty sure the ball was out on the full already, so it'll be a free kick to the Tigers.
Surface Paradise have come out of the clouds, the D's, and they are 4 points to the good over Maroochydore, 85-81. Phenomenal comeback there, and the game of the weekend, arguably.
Geez, talk about close contests. From the exception of the Sherwood Aspley one, pardon me, which was probably expected. Everything else has been pretty close in round 9. QAFL action this weekend as Morningside look to go into attack through Dads, but again intercepted by the Tigers.
And that looks like it'll be one of the last plays of the game, we think.
Switches across that far side of the ground. Right's there, ends up with a footy as the siren goes. As the Tigers theme song is blaring in the background, Labrador 14-12-96. Morningside 11-10-76, 20-point winners to the Tigers. And Yendi, what'd you think of that one?
Good game. Yeah, it was a terrific output from all teams here today, both teams. Labrador 20-point winners in a phenomenal performance. My 3-2-1 that I'll give, and I'll give you a chance to think about some of your better players too, but I've given 3 votes to Luke Coombs, 2 votes to Tom Simpson, and 1 vote there for Matt Hoy. All from Labrador. Probably special mentions there to Cam McQueen. It was just a contest that the players that did the little things, the little impressive things, probably stood out the most, and it was a game that was very difficult to have players stand out today. Who were some of your better players today, mate?
Look, to be honest, mate, it's a mirror image of my 3-2-1 for the Tigers, but you look down, look, Morningside, they were in it for a long period of time, couldn't quite get those back-to-back goals they needed. They really struggled with that all afternoon. Ended up being a 20-point margin, but, you know, Robertson, before he went off injured, was doing okay, was a little bit inaccurate.
Henderson was good too.
A little bit inefficient. Henderson went off as well. He was really good early, kicking 3 goals in that first quarter. But McQueen was good. Mann was good. Look, Shaq McLeod's going to be an up-and-comer. You know, really be interested in watching him over the next 18 months. He could come leaps and bounds as a key forward. Hodge was good as well. Dwyer was brilliant in the back line for the Panthers, but it was all the Tigers this afternoon. Like you said, Yendi, Coombs definitely best on ground. Simpson definitely number 2, and Hoy number 1. Popped up with a couple of goals, and that last one late. Well, thank you, Yendi.
I'll go through just a quick scores before we
quick
finish
around
up.
the grounds before we finish up.
So Aspley and Sherwood, we haven't got an update there. But Redlands, Victoria Point, they've struggled away against Noosa. They lead that one by 27 points, 73-46. Testament there for the Northern Tigers for the way they've been able to respond over the last couple of weeks. Wilston Grange, 85-60 over Broadbeach in probably the big result of the weekend. Surfers Paradise, haven't had an updated score, but that could be it against Maroochydore, 85-81. Mount Gravatt have battled bravely against Palm Beach Currumbin. That's 25 points the margin. And next week, some big games coming up. Labrador play away to Redlands Victoria Point, and Morningside travel away to Wilston Grange. That is going to be a massive contest. We spoke about it before. Wilston Grange winning today means that they leapfrog both Morningside and Broadbeach. They leap from 5th to 3rd. Who would have thought it? And also, they have beaten Broadbeach today without Matt Eagles in that team, and that speaks volume of that win as well. So Kano's just, his eyes have popped out of his head. But yes, no Matt Eagles, and still, we know Broadbeach have got injuries, but they've got the best coaching team in the competition for mine. So want to do a big thanks to our man Dave here, who's bought out the Channel 7 type equipment for this special broadcast, and I think it's delivered in buckets. And of course, for the Kanga Cup, Labrador have been outstanding.
No, look, Yendi, you've taken a break from the VFL this week. Thank you very much for your input this afternoon. My name's Kane Browning. We'll be back next week for round 10 QAFL action as both sides come in for the presentation of the Cup this afternoon. Labrador reigning our 20-point lead, 20-point winners, 14-12-96. Morningside 11-10-76. We'll be back next week for more QAFL action. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.